Bareilly.
Namaskar. Namaskar ji, namaskar.
Yeah, and Dr. Shiva Lingesh, he's also from Bareilly Dental College.
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Namaskar. These are looking too young to be principal, Shiva and Satyajit.
No, I'm not the principal, sir. The Dr. Satyajit Naik is the principal.
Even Satyajit looks very young to be a principal. Namaskar ji, namaskar. Welcome. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah. Pleasure, sir. Pleasure.
So you spoke to Reena ma'am. She's there as the academic director of ICanCaRe.
Sir, good evening.
Pleasure meeting you,
Namaskar,
Reena. Pleasure meeting you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for
And
being
Shruti,
here. It's very meaningful for us to have your presence.
Ma'am, your voice is also not very
Really?
audible. Yeah. Let me check. Am I? Just let me check. Let me check something wrong with my maybe.
नहीं, you were correct, Pawan. आपकी जितनी clear है, मैडम की इतनी clear नहीं थी, रीना की नहीं थी.
Is this better?
Yeah, much better.
Thank you.
Sir, good evening. Now is this better? Am I audible clearly?
Shruti, it's good.
Thanks, ma'am.
Shruti, you're better, but हाँ, थोड़ा सा और ठीक कर माइक को अपना, श्रुति, please.
और तो सर और कहाँ से मतलब it's difficult. और क्या करूँ मैं?
Yeah, ठीक है. Let me say, Dr. Arjun Agarwal, he's the first surgical oncologist, sir, at Bareilly and that whole of that area, and he's doing pretty well. Dr. Arjun.
Pleasure meeting you, Arjun.
And Shiva Manjunath, he's there, sir. He's the academic director of the Bareilly Dental College. Vasuprada ma'am from she's from Hyderabad, but she's taking care of she's of the member, national committee member for RAGAP, that is Rotary Action Group Addiction Prevention. Then we have got Girja ma'am ke saath to mulaqat hua. She is the president of Rotary at Hyderabad, and she has taken this program of ICanCaRe and this tobacco cessation to a very high, means to a great level, and started a center there. So we will be introducing, sir. And Manju, where is Muruganathan?
Thank you for joining us, sir. It's a privilege for us.
Sir, Muruganandam from Erode, from the Erode University. Sir, please introduce yourself, sir.
Muruganandam from Erode Arts and Science College, the NSS coordinator of the college. So we had tie-up with ICanCaRe for the tobacco-free nation.
Excellent. So lovely to see these initiatives across the country. Very heartening.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations to all of you all, Pawan, for taking the leadership. Very nice. It's very heartening.
Thank you so much, sir. I think it's just 4:03, and I'll request Shruti to start.
Hello everyone. Good evening. Namaskar. This is a beautiful Sunday, last Sunday of January. हमारा नया साल का एक first month is getting over with lot of energy and enthusiasm. हमने शुरुआत की थी एक fitness के साथ, health के साथ, and then again we are continuing this entire process and we are moving ahead again with prevention. आज का जो हमारा topic is again very special because we are going to talk about how we can tame the killer, the so-called tobacco, the demon of the present era, and how we are going to save the youth. आज हमारे साथ बहुत ही विशिष्ट एंड एलाइट ग्रुप ऑफ ऑडियंस स्पीकर्स हैं जो हमें एड्रेस करेंगे एंड वी विल लर्न अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स फ्रॉम देम. We have the presence of light guests from across the country, and it is our privilege and honor that they have their gracious presence on ICanCaRe Sunday Live, and we have their valuable time so that we can learn from them. Before we begin the session, मैं सबसे निवेदन करूंगी कि अपने microphones को please mute पे रखें. Please ensure that only speakers are unmuting themselves and speaking during their turn. Ensure कि अगर आपको कुछ भी बात करनी हो, कोई भी comment देना हो, chat box का इस्तेमाल करें. Use the raise hand feature, and our moderators will get in touch with you to sort out all your concerns. This program is being telecasted on multiple platforms and is also being recorded. So please ensure that the videos are on in the proper mode, and any breach can lead to the actions as per the cyber laws of the country. मैं अभी मुझे बहुत गर्व हो रहा है ICanCaRe के बारे में that we are a health tech startup in preventive healthcare and we have been successfully working since 2015 with an aim, with a mission कि कैंसर को होने से CVD और अन्य प्रकार के CVD और NCDs नॉन कम्युनिकेबल डिजीजेस होने से हम देश को बचाएंगे and we are going to put on all our efforts to nip the main problem, which is tobacco, the root cause of most of the problems in the country. For that, we have been doing numerous programs, sensitization sessions, and have been able to reach out to more than 5 lakhs of people across the country. And now recently we have started the online tobacco cessation program where we have successfully helped more than 100 patients to quit across the country without the physical presence in the center with the most scientific and data driven protocol of ICanCaRe. इस वेबिनार के थ्रू, इस वेबिनार के माध्यम से हम 50,000 से ज्यादा लोगों तक भी इस कोविड के, इस वैश्विक महामारी के समय पे जुड़ चुके हैं and they are very much interested to take the cause ahead. ICanCaRe में हम we envision to become the largest network of cessation centers with the biggest network of people working under the cause, with a mission to help at least 1 lakh of people quit the habit every year and reaching out to at least 1 crore of people with an awareness and sensitization that tobacco is not the reason for only cancer, but it is the problem and the root cause of most of the diseases which is happening in the daily lifestyle. In the next 5 years, we aim to create 1 lakh marshals, tobacco marshals, and 20,000 specialists who can really work across the country and ensure that with these ambassadors and marshals, we can really tame the killer. We can totally curb the menace of tobacco in the country. I thank now all the participating and partnering organizations who have made this event successful. I thank Bareilly International University, Rohilkhand University, Max Institute of Cancer Care, Gujarat University, Exile Central, and Sanjuta Numandes for being tirelessly working in this event to make this successful. I also thank Rotary Club of Hyderabad Midtown for taking the special initiative and all the co-hosting clubs of co-hosting clubs of Hyderabad from the Rotary Club to have made this event really successful. I welcome all the presidents from the given clubs to participate in this event and address us in the future, in the upcoming in the next few minutes. Let me take this privilege now to introduce the guests of the day. We have the chief guest speaker, Dr. Anil DCruz, who is currently the president of the Union International for Cancer Control. We know it as UICC, Geneva. He's also the director of oncology at Apollo Hospitals. We have with us the presence of chief guest, Dr. Keshav Kumar Agarwal, who is chancellor from Bareilly International University. Introducing our guests of honor, we have Dr. Satyajit Naik, and Principal of Institute of Dental Sciences, Bareilly International University. Dr. Rakesh Rawal, who is the course coordinator and head of Department of Life Sciences from Gujarat University. Mrs. Girija Sampath, who is President of Rotary Club of Hyderabad Midtown. Rotarian Naresh Nagi, who is Secretary of Rotary Club of Hyderabad Midtown. Rotary Vasuprada Kartic, who is the district chairperson for RAG-AP. Dr. Shiva Manjunath RG, who is academic in charge at Institute of Dental Sciences, Bareilly International University. Dr. Arjun Agarwal, associate professor in surgical oncology in Rohilkhand Medical College and Hospital, Bareilly. Dr. Shivalingesh KK, head of department of public health dentistry at Institute of Dental Sciences, Bareilly International University. I now take this privilege to introduce to you team ICanCaRe. We have with us Dr. Pawan Gupta, who is Chief Medical Advisor and also founder at ICanCaRe. Dr. Reena R. Kumar, Academic Director at ICanCaRe. Rishabh Agrawal, who is CEO and Director at ICanCaRe and the technical Karta Dharta of the entire company. Myself, Shruti Agrawal, आपकी host और दोस्त आज के शाम के लिए, and we will continue the session with this. I give special thanks to our coordinator, Mr. Manoj Kumar Sharma, who is a social activist and a very passionate worker from Bareilly. अब मैं हमारे सभी गेस्ट को आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगी कि हम एक लाइटिंग ऑफ लैम्प के साथ शुरुआत करें. इसके लिए because this is an e-lighting of lamp, I'll request everyone to please close your eyes for 30 seconds. I'm going to do an Om Upcharan. वो Om Upcharan खत्म होते ही हमारी lights जल जाएंगी and then we will take ahead the session. So is everyone ready? If you can show me a thumbs up, I think I'll achieve that we are ready. Okay, great. Thank you. So I'm beginning. Please close your eyes. Take a deep breath. पूछ पे ही आप सभी ओम करेंगे, केवल मेरी ही उच्चारण की साउंड आएगी. So please close your eyes and we begin. Om. Well, thank you everyone for the lamp lighting. I now invite Girja ma'am, who is the president of Rotary Club of Hyderabad Midtown, to kindly give her welcome address. She's a very passionate worker and is very much aligned to the cause for making India tobacco free and smoke free. She's passionate about service to community and dedicated her part of time for cancer patients. She's a Mahila Morcha Secretary, Secunderabad Parliament, and worked as a special election in charge for BJP. She is present and re-elected president of Rotary Club of Hyderabad Midtown, and service to community is her goal. She wants to reach out to every youth so that seriousness of cancer can be known and the menace from tobacco can be known and it can be prevented. I now invite ma'am for her address.
Thank you, Shruti, for the wonderful welcome. Thanks a lot. Let me start the day by enchanting and remembering God with his prayers for everybody's wellness. Namami Dhanvandaram Adidevam Surasiravandita Padapadmam Loke Javartu Bhayamrityu Asham Datatramesham Vividoshadhenam. This means everybody should be blessed with good health. I welcome Dr. Anil DCruz, the President International for Cancer Control, Geneva, Dr. Keshav Agarwal, Dr. Raghuram, who is supposed to be for today's event. He is down with illness. He is having high fever and throat infection. He has sent his apologies. Dr. Satyajit Naik, the principal, Bareilly University, Dr. Rakesh Rawal, Dr. Rotary in Vasuprada Kartic, our district chair and our mentor for District 3150 for this quit tobacco movement, Dr. Shiva Manjunath, Dr. Shiva Lingesh, and the captain of ICanCaRe, Dr. Pavan Gupta, Dr. Reena, who is the vice captain of ICanCaRe, Rishabh Agarwal, who is the heart and soul of ICanCaRe, and Shruti Agarwal, who is the, all in all for ICanCaRe, who has brought this main cause to District 3150. I welcome my Rotarian friends, presidents, Rotractors, interactors, other friends, and all the members of this program. There is a reason for today's program. February 4th is supposed to be the Cancer Day, World Cancer Day. The special occasion World Cancer Day is celebrated on 4th February. So we have chosen today to celebrate the same due to the dignitaries' time availability. Cancer, the deadly disease. We all know the word. Nobody likes this word cancer because it is a very sophisticated, costly disease. Who likes it? No one likes it. But today we have brought this topic not only to support the patients who are suffering, also the World Cancer Day is celebrated for bringing awareness and to encourage its prevention and detection and treatment. This year theme, I am and I will tame the killer to save the youth from tobacco. Though many reasons for cancer, maximum share goes to tobacco. Most passionate, fashionable, sophisticated addiction and very costly addiction also. But still, nobody agrees for it. Everybody likes to smoke. Why? You pay me so we can kill you slowly. This is the slogan that everybody knows. Every time you light up a cigarette, you are saying that your life isn't worth living. So I quit smoking for my heart and the hearts for those who loves me. So this should be your passion. You should quit smoking. You know what is going to happen after you smoke, though the addiction. So how do we stop this addiction? ICanCaRe has come out with a lot of 24/7. I can say it's a 24/7 institution who puts the entire team, who puts their heart and soul. And with the help of Dr. Vasuprada Kartic and a team of doctors from our club, we have taken it into our heart and we started working on it and to reach this message to the entire globe, entire nation, and also in international. We want every youth to know how much damage they can cause due to smoking. My fellow Rotarians and Rotractors also will be the volunteers, and also there'll be foot warriors to support me for this program. Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. So this is Mother Teresa's words. So we have to do small things where we can save the community. Today, as a Rotary, in Rotary, there are 7 areas of focus. Disease prevention and treatment is one of our major focus. And today also being a special day of polio eradication day, Rotary has this responsibility of reaching the community, how to save the people from various aspects of diseases. So cancer is one of the major diseases where most of the club members are putting their heart and soul and working on it. We are proud, we are associated with ICanCaRe, and we are the first club to set up the wellness center in Hyderabad district 3150. We are setting up in the Maharashtra Mandal. The reason for why we are setting up the Maharashtra Mandal is every week we have Alcoholic Anonymous meet in the Mandal, and we feel that this is the right location for the wellness center. So I am appreciating the entire team, and we look forward a lot of support, and we are there with you to walk together and work together with ICanCaRe. I welcome all of you today for this wonderful session. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was really awe-inspiring and full of words. This is the virtual center which we had launched on 22nd of December in the presence of the district governor, Shri Hanumant Reddy, and Girija ma'am and myself were there to inaugurate and exchange the MOU so that we can have this center at Hyderabad to prevent tobacco and to help people tobacco use and to help people quit over their habit. And now with this, I invite Dr. Pawan Gupta, who is Director of Head and Neck Oncology at Max Institute of Cancer Care and founder of ICanCaRe. Also the Vice Chairman of ICanWin Foundation, who have successfully completed 7,000 surgeries with more than 25 years of experience, and author of such lovely books to prevent tobacco, to address us and talk about how at ICanCaRe the Save the Youth campaign has been designed to curb the menace of tobacco.
Thank you, Shruti, and it's a pleasure, and I'm really overwhelmed by the presence of Dr. Anil DCruz on this program, who has been my mentor in my early years when I was at Tata Memorial for some time, and then throughout the having trained and got guidance from him in many places, not only in the professional way, but also when I was in non-professional in the managing the whole society and managing people. So without taking much time, the tobacco, the biggest killer, it is a man-made catastrophe. And at ICanCaRe, we have taken to making this that I am a cancer surgeon and I will help people, I will help the society to get rid of tobacco. That is our pledge on this day for the World Tobacco Day, because the theme of, World Cancer Day, the theme is I am and I will. So this is a big problem with 5,500 children starting tobacco every year and 2 persons dying every month. Every day, 5,500 children starting every day and 2 persons dying every minute. 3,700 people die every day. That is almost 1 crore people dying every year in India. And there's a huge gap that almost 50% of the people who have taken tobacco, after around 10 years or 15 years of using tobacco, they want to quit tobacco. But quitting is the major problem that everyone is facing because they do not have skilled people around them. So that's a huge number, almost 26 crore people using tobacco, of which 68 being in urban area. And this is what is FCTC, the WHO Empower. Of all the things that was there, the most important aspect that we have taken at ICanCaRe is offer help to quit. But that was the biggest challenge. Other things are just advocacy and other things, it's like talking, but really working in the society was the challenge. And this is where we are working. We have done a lot of research and other things for this purpose. And this Save the Youth campaign that we launched encompasses each and every aspect. That is sensitize, assist, volunteer and train, and enforce. So this is Save the Youth campaign that we launched, and S stands for sensitization, that is be smart, do not start. And that is Jagruk Rahe Prarambh Na Kare. That is the first thing that we do for the schools, colleges and others people, so that they do not start. And for those who have already started, we have this, we sensitize them that yes, it is possible to quit tobacco, because most of the people believe that it is just not possible to quit tobacco. So that is another area that we need to focus on in the public, that yes, it is possible to quit tobacco. Yes, of course, you need to take the proper steps. So that is where the assistance programs comes in, where we have got a systematic way of assisting people. And it is a protocol based methodology where we assist people to quit tobacco. And we have launched the Quit Line, which is a national quit line. That is the only private quit line in India. The app, which Rishabh will be talking about, this is again the world's first app for protocol based tobacco cessation program, self-help books, online cessation methodologies, cessation centers, like what Girja ma'am said, and we are starting, and we want to set up multiple cessation centers throughout India, online group counseling, online consultations, e-commerce portal, so that medications can reach at the doorstep of the patient who wants to quit tobacco, and of course ICanCaRe app, which Rishabh would be talking. Then comes the volunteer training program. The skill of the doctors are lacking, and we need to increase the skill of the doctors. We need to have the large people in the society who are talking against tobacco, and that is with knowledge, just not telling that tobacco is bad, but with knowledge. So we started this network, a huge network of manpower development for volunteers, marshals, ambassadors, alliance partners and specialists. And we are lucky to have been the first in India to start a accreditation course from Gujarat University for training of marshals, OCTC, that is Orientation Course in Tobacco Cessation, and CTCS, that is Certified Tobacco Cessation Specialist course. So this is the only, then comes the Empower, where we have tried to empower each and everyone, each institution to be tobacco free. So these are the books for each save unit. Like for S, we have got Be Smart, Do Not Start. This is a comic booklet in multiple languages and very easy to read, and a lot of children and everyone loves to read this book. And then Assist to Quit. This is again a quit tobacco diary, which is again in Hindi and English, which is helps the people who want to quit self-quit, and even for the doctors who want the patients to quit, and even for the training purpose of the doctors. So this is a tobacco cessation, the volunteer training program. We have got a tobacco cessation, a comprehensive guide. This is an exhaustive book for the first time in India, written for guiding or training the doctors on tobacco cessation. And this for enforcing the making an institution tobacco free, the basic manual, the PSUs, the corporates, the institutions who want to be tobacco free, what are the various steps to be taken, that is guided in this book. So these are the various steps, the volunteer, the marshals, the ambassadors and the specialists. And we are lucky to be, we launched this ICanCaRe Academy so that we can build the manpower, we can skill up, we can have the visibility and the networking. And I'm glad Dr. Reena Kumar, she is the academic director, and she has brought in a lot of her experience as the principal of dental college, where she quit her dental college and she has started working in this. So technology to aid, ICanCaRe app, Rishabh will be talking about that. The ICanCaRe games, the first video games on helping people or learning about tobacco. And then online cessation intervention, the virtual clinics and the group intervention that we have started on this ICanCaRe aspect. So we intend to simplify tobacco cessation, which we have done quite extensively. We are incubated at JUSAC, where we have done a lot of research work, and Dr. Rakesh Rawal is also there, who will be talking about how we have been able to do a lot of changes that is required for tobacco cessation. And with Rishabh amplifying through his various methodologies, through app and through equipments and other things, that is how we are making it available throughout India. So Shruti, can you change the slide? I think I thank you everyone. And this is the tobacco marshals. Need of the hour is the manpower. That is what is important. Need of the hour is the manpower. And we are creating tobacco marshals from teachers, PSUs, security, police, NSS, and tobacco ambassadors from nursing, that is paramedics, pharmacy, and others, and of course tobacco specialists from the health workers. So I think a large number of trained people are required, and this is what I look at from the acceptable social norm, that tobacco is an acceptable social norm. We have to convert into a social outrage. Every person should not accept any person who is taking tobacco in and around him. So this is where we are focusing, and focus on tobacco alone would save millions and lives and huge amount of revenue. This is what I believe. So I thank you for giving me this chance and to introduce ICanCaRe, and I hand it over to Shruti for taking it forward.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I think that was really wonderful. And I'm sure that everyone, all of our audience must be really excited about the SAFE campaign, because it caters to all the aspects from sensitization to assistance, creating large army of volunteers, and then enforcing the policies to make a tobacco-free institute. With this, now I take the privilege to invite our guest of honor for the day, Dr. Satyajit Naik, who is the principal of Institute of Dental Sciences at Bareilly International University. Sir currently has more than 20 years of academic and clinical experience in the Department of Pediatrics and Preventive Dentistry. His clinical expertise in his specialty is well known. He has won many national and international publications to his credits and has also co-authored many books related to his specialty. He has attended many national and international conferences and chaired many scientific sessions to impart large knowledge in the given field. I now invite Sir to talk about really how can the doctors redefine the clinical practice for tobacco control.
Thank you, Shruti. A very good afternoon to all the dignitaries and fellow members present in this virtual platform. As you all know, tobacco consumption is associated with a wide range of diseases, causing high level of morbidity and mortality, and is one of the leading causes of preventable death. According to WHO 2018 report, tobacco use is killing more than 7 million individuals worldwide annually. Out of this, around 9 lakh die due to second-hand smoking. India is home for 120 million tobacco users in one or the other form, which accounts for about 12% of the tobacco consumers in the world. It is well documented that smokers who quit smoking before the age of 35 can anticipate a life expectancy similar to those who have never smoked. Also, quitting at any age provides both short and long-term benefits. Majority of the tobacco consumers wish to quit the habit. So as a dental profession, we can play a pivotal role in diagnosing and effectively managing the tobacco dependency. In this connection, a protocol may be established and it must become an integral component of the routine dental practice. Untapped dental manpower like undergraduates, or it might be a dental hygienist or other dental staffs also may be trained along with the dental practitioners to engage actively in tobacco cessation. The dental treatment often requires multiple visits, so it provides a system for initiation, reinforcement, and support to the tobacco cessation activities. Also, a dental visit provides a teachable moment during which dental team can inform, counsel, educate, and transform the patient with respect to his or her tobacco-related habits. The evidence shows that clinical intervention during the dental care are as effective as in healthcare settings, and dentists can play an essential role in increasing the tobacco cessation rate. Also, dentists who implement an effective cessation program can expect to achieve quit rate up to 15% annually. Basically, there are two approaches which are shown evidence of efficacy in tobacco cessation. The first one is the counseling. This counseling usually addresses the psychological aspect, and second is the pharmacotherapy, which usually addresses the physiological part. In counseling, we usually expect the behavioral modification to happen, but it is well-known fact that behavioral modification is easier said than done. So, pharmacotherapeutic methods, when used in conjunction with the counseling, has shown enhanced efficacy and has provided better quit rate. So over the past decade, there have been a notable increase in the number of available pharmacotherapies for the treatment of tobacco dependency. One among them is the nicotine replacement therapy, which includes transdermal patches, or it might be a nicotine chewing gums, or it can be nicotine nasal spray, or a nicotine inhaler, sublingual tabs, as well as a nicotine lozenges. However, the need of the hour is the establishment of a tobacco cessation center, which provides an ideal platform to train, orient, and sensitize the smokers. This tobacco cessation center is usually equipped with state-of-art smokerizers and also computed audio system and many posters and flip charts for patients' education. With these few words, and without wasting much time, I would like to make way for our next expertise speaker to give insight into this topic and throw light to the latest treatment in this field. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Jai.
Thank you so much, sir. That was really wonderful. And you've given us a lot of insights about how the dentists can play a major role, a vital, a pivotal role in tobacco control with both intervention and pharmacotherapy. With this, now I take this privilege to invite the chief guest speaker for the evening, Professor Dr. Anil DCruz, who is currently the president of Union International for Cancer Control, Geneva. Sir holds 30 years of experience as an oncologist and is currently the director at oncology department at Apollo Hospitals. He had been the ex-director at Tata Memorial Hospital and has held many leadership positions both nationally and internationally. He has served the UICC board of directors, including its membership, governance, and finance committees. Some of his other UICC-related appointments includes program committee co-chair for the 2016 World Cancer Congress in Paris and member of the World Cancer Congress Organizing Committee for Melbourne Conference in 2014. He's an active researcher with pivotal contributions and over 200 peer-reviewed publications. He has delivered more than 300 lectures, 15 named orations, plenary lectures, and keynote presentations around the globe. And what else can I say? That he has been the mentor to our own dear founder, Dr. Pawan Gupta. So it is indeed the hearty privilege and an honor that we have Sir's presence on this forum. And now I invite him to deliver his talk and enlighten us more about how to kill the killer, how to tame this killer, this pernicious disease called tobacco.
Thank you, Shruti. Am I audible? If it is, just put a thumbs up to me.
Yes, sir, you're absolutely audible.
And as you said, I could make a few slides. So if I can share my screen, please.
Sure, sir.
Here goes. Lovely. Is my screen seen?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Lovely. Great. So thank you very much for the kind words, Shruti. Pawan, thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you to the leadership across the Rotary groups, the Institute of Bareilly, everybody who's invited me today as the chief guest for this program. Pawan, I'm really inspired by the work you do. Many of us are clinicians. We do a lot of work, but to have this calling to me is truly a missionary zeal with which you have pursued this. And I just believe if many of our colleagues had the same passion that you share, we would definitely tame the killer much faster. So maybe this is an inspiration to others to follow what you have done. I'm going to be brief. I know we've got a lot of talks. Figures on tobacco will be across all talks, but I'm going to share with you my perspective on I am and I will tame the killer and save the youth from tobacco, because I've spent my life as a head and neck surgeon, a disease where 90% of cancers are caused because of tobacco. Quickly, for those of you all who are not aware, everybody keeps saying I'm president of the UICC, president of the UICC. Well, UICC is the Union International for Cancer Control. It's the oldest and largest federation in the world, established in Geneva in 1933. It has more than 1,200 members, and members are institutions, it's not individuals, in 172 countries. We have formal relations with UN agencies the World Health Organization, IARC, the IAEA, the Economic Development Forum, and various others, as well as now have long-standing relationship with leading private companies with a mission to unite the cancer community, to reduce the global burden, to promote greater equity, making treatment available to all, and to integrate cancer control into the World Health and Developmental Agenda. Now, the UICC has three main buckets or three main areas of work. One is advocacy. One is convening some of the biggest meetings, as like Shruti said, the World Cancer Congress, where I was chair for the last couple of years. And the third is capacity building, where we help people to strengthen the organization with a lot of leadership programs. We have young leaders programs, fellowships, technology transfer. But probably the largest bucket of our work is advocacy. And towards advocacy, one of the biggest passions at the UICC is tobacco control. And the World Cancer Day is one of the biggest convening activities that we do. An initiative of the UICC started in 4th of February, and the theme for the last 3 years, including this year, has been I am and I will. Now, cancer is a growing epidemic. If you look at the latest GloboCan results that have come out 2020, 1 in 5 men and 1 in 6 women worldwide will develop cancer in their lifetime. 1 in 8 men and 1 in 11 women will die of cancer. And look how these figures are jumping. It was 12 million in 2012, 18 million in 2018, and now it's 19.3 million in 2020. The largest jump will be from countries which are lower on the developmental scale. So we in low and middle income countries will be facing the brunt. And lung cancer has the highest incidence, 11.6%, and an 18% death rate globally. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that lung cancer is primarily caused by tobacco. In India, 50% of our countrymen, close to 50% of our cancers are tobacco related. And that's why it's very, very important to us. Now look at the GloboCan or the Global Adult Youth Survey data in India. 19% of men and 2% of women, that's about 10% of our population, smoke tobacco. 21.4, look at the second bullet, 21.4% of our countrymen are addicted to smokeless tobacco. And concentrate on the third bullet, 42.4% of men, that's nearly half. 15% of women, that's nearly a sixth, that is 1/3 of our countrymen smoked or use smokeless tobacco. And I saw a post in the chat box by Dr. Kapoor that said ban smoking. But please be aware that the smokeless tobacco in our country is a much bigger problem than smoked tobacco. And unfortunately, most of our measures are towards cigarettes, while the number of people in our country on smokeless tobacco is double that. Government has done a lot of things. We have recognized at government level that things have to be done. Tobacco advertising is banned on the electronic media, though people continue to do it in surrogate forms. There's heavy taxation, but only on the cigarette. Smoking is banned in public places. Gutka and other flavored suparis, the tobacco products have been banned in many states, and various organizations, including the current program, are working towards the harmful effects of tobacco education and cessation. Unfortunately, it's a socially accepted in our country. 40 to 50% of our country consume tobacco, and you can see it's a way of life. You see these little kiosks at every street corner in our country that sell various type of tobacco products. So everybody is going to say, if it's so bad, why don't you ban tobacco? The first country to ban tobacco is Bhutan, 2004. They banned the sale of tobacco. Now look at Bhutan in the map. It's got China on one side. It's got India on one. Bangladesh, it's a small country. Borders are pretty tight on one side where China is. Yet from 2004 to 2010, despite the ban, people continued to consume tobacco. Then in 2010, they passed a Tobacco Control Act that made, if you possessed smoking cigarettes or chewing tobacco, it was a non-bailable offense. 2010 it was passed. Now look what happened in 2014 when a study was done. That's 4 years after a ban that you would be arrested. It's non-bailable. A survey was done among 2,820 adults in the age group of 18 to 69. 24.8% still consumed tobacco. And one of the first arrests was a Buddhist monk. So we cannot just say ban tobacco. What is banned is very difficult to control. And the classical Adam and Eve and the apple. And I just took this from the Times of India a couple of weeks back, where Bihar has banned alcohol, and a higher percentage of men drink in dry Bihar than Maharashtra government survey. And this is Times of India government data to share with you also. Banning is not a very, very good way. It's difficult to enforce. Pawan did make a mention about the MPAR policy of the WHO. And here I'm giving you a few figures to share my thoughts on 41 countries, what works to avoid smoking-related deaths. The rest of the world is mainly concerned about smoking because for them, chewed isn't such a big problem. Among the various measures that you have, protect air, offer cessation treatments, warning on packages, enforced marketing bans, the single most factor that affects or has the greatest impact on tobacco consumption is raising taxes. And I've highlighted these figures in red. This is a WHO bulletin. You can put MPAR and it's a free download. So you will see that raising taxes is very, very important. And here is an example from the state of California versus the rest of the US. While the US minus California, here look at the tobacco consumption, California had strict laws and increased taxation. Look at the decrease in tobacco's consumption with increasing taxes. And look at the falling rates. These are the black boxes in California of diseases that related to the lung and bronchitis. So you need to raise taxes. A classical article from New England Journal of Medicine, one of the highest impact journals, 2016 from Prabhat Jha's group from Toronto, looking at consumption in France and South Africa. The moment they raise their taxes, you can see how consumption, these dotted lines tell you when they raise their taxes, look how consumption dropped. Here is South Africa, and on top you can see France. As the prices increase, the bottom lines are the prices increase, the time point when these legislations were bought in, and showing you a decrease in consumption. So France and South Africa did what Australia and the US took three decades to do, they achieved in a decade. And there is strong IARC data that shows that a 50% increase in inflation-adjusted tobacco prices reduces consumption by about 20% in both high-income countries and low and middle-income countries. Hence, doubling inflation-adjusted prices could reduce consumption by 1/3. So those of you all who are listening to me and have a voice and can influence policy decision makers, government, here's what we need to do. The government does that, but if you hear a finance minister's speech year after year, decade after decade, it will only target the cigarettes. The small scale industry is hardly targeted. And in our country, BD and low priced products are widely consumed. And I think the time has come for us to put a throttle on these products as well, rather than only focusing on cigarettes. Many years back, in 2002, I had the distinction of coming in a front cover story, coverage in the New York Times. So when everybody says tobacco has no positive effects, this tobacco brought me into the front of the New York Times, which many people will die to come. And I've just put a cutting of this out. And they covered the Pan Parag business in our country. It's one of the few, these tobacco products at that time, many of these were very, very popular. What they said is that the cost has been such that people continue to use it. And when they interviewed me, talking to my various patients, I've put what my thought process at 2002 was. It's the boom of oral cancers, and it's the packaging of the tobacco and these products, because it is a small, cheaply available packet. People can go and pick it up for a rupee, for 50 paise, for 2 rupees. It's within their grasp. It's freely available. And that's the reason why people consume these things very, very freely. So there are 2 messages here. We need to increase taxes, plus make our tobacco products not available to our countrymen. Quitting is good, but as Mark Twain said, it's very easy to quit tobacco. I've done it 99 times, more than 100 times. He says more than 1,000 times. And those of you all who followed Mark Twain, the famous author, he always lived and posed with a cigarette product in his mouth. But those were many, many years back. Now, the fight, and the biggest fight in good health, is eradicating the tobacco message. So the message I want to give is, while we do target and do help people who want to quit the product, and I congratulate Pawan and his group using the app to do that, the best message is not to start. And as Mark Twain said, if you start, it's one of the most difficult habits to give up. And a message to many people, because you all are from university and many youngsters are listening to us. If a youngster does not take to tobacco by the age of 21, there's a 90% chance that they will not take to tobacco in their lifetime. So all of us should focus our efforts on school kids, junior college kids, and college kids, to see that they are taught about the harmful effects of tobacco. It doesn't make much sense going and targeting people in big corporations and others who are adults. When they're set with a habit, it's very difficult to give up. So I would urge everybody listening to me today, focus your attentions to the youth. And I think, Pankaj, Pawan, you are very, very aptly called this protecting our youth. I'm going to end by saying that the title was very, very timely: protecting youth from industry manipulation and preventing them from the tobacco and nicotine use. Again, for the youngsters listening to us, WHO celebrates May 31st each year as No Tobacco Day. And normally we have these programs on tobacco around that time. But I think it's very timely to choose it at the World Cancer Day as well. And that is because, as I said, 50% of cancers could be caused because of tobacco. So from now on to 31st of May and even beyond, I'd urge all of you all listening, all the organizations participating today, to please continue this fight. Target our youngsters. Tell them about the harmful effects. It's not about banning. They will understand, and make these products not easily available to them. Then and only then we'll have a tobacco-free India, and we'll have a decrease in the incidence of not only cancer, but as Shruti said, in many non-communicable diseases. I end with one of the initiatives that we at the UICC are doing. On the 4th of February, we have what is known as a solidarity run, and it's going to be broadcast on Sony at 8:30 in the evening. From the 5th, it's freely available online. The Solidarity Run is a virtual event. We've teamed up with one of the biggest bike virtual companies. And really, we've got celebrities who is who to participate in this. And it's something that many of y'all could participate on. It's a celebrity virtual biking event, which will be across the globe. I end once again thanking y'all with an opportunity to be here today. In our country, I want to make it aware that it's not only smoked tobacco, but smokeless tobacco. The picture on your right says it all. We have people mixing tobacco and the mixture. And as one of my teachers and former director of Tata, Dr. Raghu, would say that each time they're rubbing, they're not rubbing to make the mixture, but they're rubbing on their lifeline, which is the line that you can see exactly here. So I think this is a message that we need to take to everybody. I'd be delighted if you'll follow me on Twitter. You will have most of the big international events on tobacco that I tweet from time to time, and it would keep you all updated. And if you retweet them, then probably we'll have more people informed about the harmful effects of tobacco. Thank you once again for having me on, and congratulations to all the organizers for this great event. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir. That was really inspiring, and the message was very clear that make tobacco availability very difficult, very hindered and full of obstacles. Increase the taxes and focus on the youth, because that is where we can really prevent. I'm sure that our audience who are watching with us would have been really inspired by you and follow all the events which we have discussed and shown us today. I'm really thankful to you, sir, that you have spent your valuable time and given us such beautiful and lovely thoughts about how cancer can be prevented by simply preventing tobacco use in the country. With this now, I invite our technical head, our technical superhero of ICanCaRe, Mr. Rishabh Agarwal, who is an IIT graduate from Kharagpur. He has worked with Samsung for more than 4 years and holds around 3 international patents to his name. He's designed this beautiful app, the ICanCaRe Wellness app, which is a wonderful, handy tool to really empower and amplify the reach for tobacco cessation. I invite Rishabh now to give enlighten about this technology.
Thank you, Shruti, and a very warm good evening to all, to our chief guests, to all the guest speakers and dignitaries who are present on this forum. And I also a very warm good evening to all our viewers who are currently on Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube Live, watching us, gaining a lot of insight into how we can control tobacco, how we can address the issue of tobacco menace in the country. In order to have the whole system up and running and reaching out to the farthest places of the country, we have at ICanCaRe come up with the application in the form of a mobile application, a technical tool to help people, to empower them about the different health hazards of tobacco, the different nuances of tobacco, and also people who are into tobacco, they can also seek assistance from the specialist, from the network of cessation specialists, to quit tobacco with ease, sitting from the comfort of their home. So a platform developed to bring tobacco cessation, tobacco control into a one single umbrella, so that each and every needs can be catered to while a tobacco addict is on his quit journey from the entire during the entire period. With this, I can proudly say that through this application, through the whole entire tobacco wellness program at ICanCaRe, we have been able to achieve 92% success rate with the patients from in the last 1.5 years that we have switched to an online platform. So we have been gaining 92% success rate with the tobacco addicts, and it has been it's a very pleasurable to see that people actually quitting tobacco are leading a healthy life, free from stress, and a very peaceful and healthy family life as well. So in this application, I like to highlight a few points of importance, a few features that have been put up. One is assessing the health index, which is equipping each and every individual, be it at the school level, at the youngster, at the college level, or people working in corporates, people working in the community, senior members of the community. each and everyone are equipped with this tool to self-assess themselves, to self-assess their addiction level, to self-assess their health index, and appropriately seek assistance through the application from a network of cessation specialists, as I said, and to quit tobacco with ease. We also have a lot of health blogs in this application enabled, which deals about different remedies, different type of home remedies, allopathic remedies, Ayurvedic remedies that can be adopted in a day-to-day life, so that we can have a lifestyle modification of the patient during the quit journey, so that they can switch from whatever the habit be it smokeless or smoking tobacco, to a quit tobacco state, and for a longer period of time. We also engage through this application through various means to track and record the whole progress that they have made during the entire quit journey. So they can record their craving symptoms, they can record their withdrawals, they can record their tobacco intake, and appropriately seek assistance from the specialist. So I would say the whole of the ICanCaRe application has been built so that in a single place, people seeking assistance can find the solutions that they are looking for. And I would say the application is now freely available on the Google Play Store for use to reach out to large group of people, to large number of members of the community, and spread the information. So as I was talking about the cessation program, the whole cessation program is based as an evidence-based approach, where we are able to help this tobacco addicts during their quit journey. So we build up their tobacco intake graph, gradually roll over down to zero intake. We have a proactive follow-up mechanism. Then week on week, we monitor them with their concerns, with the challenges that they are facing, and advise appropriately. They are advised appropriately by the quit coaches, by the specialist, in overcoming those challenges and concerns, so that they have a healthy life, a quit life for a longer period of time and with minimum relapse. So here are the few examples of the reports that are generated through the application. A detailed report ranging from screening, health screening, screening of the body vitals, screening of various other vitals relating to tobacco, like the CO, carbon monoxide, or the smoke analyzer readings, the oral and the neck examination, which has been incorporated in this tobacco wellness program, where a health belief model that we know, it also provides a quantitative and qualitative assessment to each and every patient visiting the clinics or the hospital for tobacco de-addiction, and helps them in progress, tracking their progress that they have made from the start to till they completely quit tobacco. So it's coming up as a very handy tool used by many, being used by many specialists across the country. And with this help, we have been able to amplify to a certain extent the reachability, the accessibility, the ease of doing counseling sessions, ease of record maintenance, and a lot of many hindrances or obstacles that we have been finding in a physical clinic we have been able to overcome through the application. So the application empowers each and every individual. As I said, empower, as we have been talking about, is the empowerment of the government to make policies. For the empowerment of the youth or the community, each and every community member, we have the Save the Youth program, we have the ICanCaRe application to engage, to empower, to enable, to enlighten, and equip them with the scientific tools. With this, I also would like to introduce that at ICanCaRe, we have come up with different engaging activity games that are very informational, educative, and knowledgeable in nature. So we have games like Play Runner Game, Play Memory Flip, Try AR Filter. So these are different various games that have been we have come up to engage the youths of today. The youth, as we have been talking about, to engage them through an informational game, where these games are made in such a way that each and every levels, there are certain some information or some actual facts about tobacco are being laid down through this application. So this games have enabled us also to engage and sensitize in a technical way to the youth to not to start tobacco, as well as it's becoming a handy tool to distract people who are already taking tobacco in their quit journey and have quit tobacco to stay quit for a longer period of time. So for the quitters is also very handy to distract them, and for the youth to sensitize them and about various facts and about relating to tobacco, and bust the various myths which is prevalent in the society with relation to the tobacco. So with this, I would urge each and every member, each and every individual who are listening to us, each and every viewer who are listening to us, to download the application from the Google Play Store, freely available. Just type in ICanCaRe on the Google Play Store and you will be able to find the application. Make the maximum use out of it. This application has been made, and I believe and I hope that definitely this is going to be a lot of assistance to many of the individuals who are seeking to help, to get help, seeking to quit tobacco, and seeking to also spread information regarding tobacco control. And it's a very, as I would also like to share one of the stories that I personally, it's very personal, but I would like to share with a story about one of my friend who have been a graduate from IIT Kharagpur as well, but because of certain circumstances, he fell into this trap of taking tobacco, and within 2 years he got affected with lung cancer. So within a year, it became so severe that he could not bear this disease, and he lost his life eventually. So it was very disheartening to see such a young individual falling prey to it and ultimately succumbing to this to a deadly disease. But all the cause was because of tobacco. So I jumped into this particular campaign to sensitize people, to make a platform, build a platform, so that people who are looking to quit tobacco, most of us already know, yes, tobacco is bad, but definitely we look for some methods, some way out, how we can achieve a quit state in our lifetime. So with this idea, I jumped into this campaign. I put together the whole technical platform so that we can reach out to more and more people into the to all the youths of today, be it in the school, colleges, or any educational institution, to not to start tobacco, and even if they have fallen prey to it, there is a way out to quit the habit, and easily they can do it from sitting from their homes. So I urge each and every one of the members of the community to kindly download the application, make the maximum use out of it, and do not fall prey to this deadly disease of tobacco. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rishabh. That was really wonderful. And I'm sure all our audience will definitely download this app, which is freely available on Google Play Store, and make the maximum use of it. I would request and urge every individual to spread it to the neighborhood, spread it to the community with their colleagues, so that maximum people can benefit from it. And well, thank you so much. And with this, now I invite Dr. Rakesh Rawal, who is professor at Life Sciences Department at the Department of Life Sciences, Gujarat University. He's also the course coordinator for Certified Tobacco Cessation Specialist. He has more than 116 national and international research publications on cancers to his name. And this is the first university accredited course which has been introduced at ICanCaRe in collaboration with GU. He has done extensive research on tobacco and its related diseases, including genetic correlation, and has also helped ICanCaRe to bring out a lot of research products. TAME, SMF, which is a common disease caused from tobacco use in India. So now I invite Dr. Rakesh Rawal to give his new insights for intervention to prevent oral cancers and tobacco use, and how the incubation of ICanCaRe GUSEC had helped us to bring more innovative products.
Thank you, Shruti. Yeah, can I share the screen, or you're sharing from there?
Sir, I'm sharing it from here.
Okay.
You can please continue.
So as Shruti said, this is Gujarat University, and fortunately me and Dr. Pawan, we were together at the Gujarat Cancer and Research Institute, where I served for 26 years. And that's how my inclination towards oral cancer got more stronger, because my PhD work and all my research work was based on oral cancer. So a query always comes to a layman's mind that do genetics play a role? So we were working on a hypothesis that all those who consume tobacco do not always develop cancer in their lifetime, However, majority of them, those who develop cancer, are habitual tobacco user. That means besides tobacco, there should be some issues in the person himself or herself, which makes them susceptible. So what we identified is that it is the oxidative stress that is caused due to the tobacco habit. It is because of the low enzymatic antioxidants as well as the low overall non-enzymatic antioxidant capacity. Besides this, we all know that the smokeless tobacco as well as the smoke form of cigarette, it contains hundreds of various carcinogens, and that makes our genome susceptible to the insult, and it forms DNA adducts, protein adducts, and ultimately all these metabolites are released through the urinary tract. So the focus is the defect may lie either in the carcinogen uptake or the metabolic activation of this carcinogen, or in the detoxification of this carcinogen in people who use or who are otherwise exposed to these tobacco products. So this is for students. So I was told that there may be many students in the crowd. So I thought it's better to educate them. So when we take nicotine in any form, all the carcinogens are either metabolically activated, and these highly metabolically active intermediates, they go and bind to the DNA, the genome of the individual. And or a part of that is also detoxified through the liver enzymes. And either the nicotine or its degradation product may go and bind to the various receptors which are there in the brain and other part of the body. And ultimately, it activates several pathways, and it decreases apoptosis, it increases angiogenesis, and all these ultimately support the development of tobacco-mediated carcinogenesis, so tobacco-mediated cancers. And it is a long process, and it's a multi-step process, but eventually a chronic exposure, or which we call it as a habit, ultimately makes them susceptible to develop either oral or lung cancer. Next, please. So in our initial days, we worked on this oral cancer, and we screened thousands of the individuals who are having the history of tobacco. And what we found that a T band, so it's a protein which is found in between the beta and gamma region. And this was specifically found in patients with habit of tobacco, and that's why we named it as T band, tobacco associated band. And this band was found very early in the lifespan of an individual when he or she is not having any disease symptoms. That means even in precancerous condition also. So this was found to be a very early indicator or early indicated marker. So now we are planning to go further and to assess, to validate that can this be used as a simple screening tool for early identification of high risk individual. Next, please. So we all know that metabolism of nicotine, the genetics do play a role, and this 60% of the variability in nicotine metabolism is attributable to the genetic factors. So here, 75% of the nicotine is metabolized into cotinine and further its degradation product. And all these are being catalyzed by several enzymes. And any mutation in these enzymes or any change in the sequence of these enzymes makes the person susceptible towards accumulation of these carcinogens in the body, and ultimately it increases the oxidative stress in the body, and it makes the person more susceptible. Next, please. In the whole course of de-addiction that was devised by ICanCaRe, I think the whole de-addiction protocol depends on how the nicotine replacement therapy or the different pharmacotherapy that are being used for tobacco de-addiction. But besides this, I think cognitive behavioral therapy also play a major role, where advising motivational techniques, all these do play a role. Issue is that in spite of giving all this pharmacotherapy, not all the patients, they respond to the therapy equally. So the current challenge that lies with us is the lack of effective and personalized treatment. And because we are looking at the patient as the one-size-fits-all paradigm. And it is currently difficult to use the genomic information in our treatment plan. Next, please. So if you look at the pharmacotherapies that are currently being used, whether it is varenicline or whether it is the bupropion, they work on different targets. So varenicline, it works on directly on the nicotine receptor, and it acts as a partial agonist, where binding of varenicline will not allow the binding of nicotine, but the patient will have some release of dopamine. So feel-good factor is there, and he can get rid of the nicotine habit. Whereas bupropion, it works at norepinephrine transporters or dopamine transporters. But the issue is that if there is a defect in the cytochrome P450 2B6 isoform, the metabolism of the bupropion drug is altered. And based on that profile, its response to bupropion is different. Next, please. So way back in 2010, I think a list of genes related to nicotine metabolism or nicotine addiction were published by Ho et al. And they listed out a list of the markers like dopamine receptor, monoamine oxidase receptor, the tryptophan hydroxylase. So all these somehow are associated with the nicotine metabolism. So any mutation or insertion deletion in these genes, they do play a role in they decide the dependence or cessation efficiency of that individual. I think we can rapidly go through this as the time is very limited. So based on the cytochrome P452A6, it was proposed that we can classify the individual into normal metabolizer, low metabolizer, or poor metabolizer. So the poor metabolizer, he has no function of these enzymes. That means there is either deletion of these gene in both the allele, whereas a low metabolizer has partial function, which is active, whereas a normal metabolizer has a normal functioning allele of CYP2A6. And based on this, the whole metabolism of tobacco, as well as the metabolism of pharmacotherapy that is given to the individual for treating the addiction, they all are affected. Next, please. So this is again just a pictorial representation of that, and this says that even the alteration in the receptor where the nicotine binds or its partial agonist that the drug binds, if there is a change in that due to mutation, their binding efficiency will change, and therefore the response of the drug during de-addiction will also change. So this is just a layman's terminology that what sort of genetic alterations that we were discussing. So if this is a normal gene, we can say the insertion is the addition of few more codes into that, whereas a mutation is either it's a replacement of the existing code or it is the loss of certain codes, and ultimately insertion, mutation, or deletion will cause the specific target gene the loss of function or gain of function. And based on that, the whole metabolism as well as the de-addiction protocol is getting affected. Yeah, so I think we will not go into the much of the scientific detail, but the issue that is more essential to see is, can we identify such polymorphic variants in our population? So I think we can skip this. So this is also a list of the various mutations that have been reported. And as I told, the issue is all these reported mutations exist in the database are from Western literature. And we need to establish our own signature of such mutants or the polymorphic variation in the allele, so that we can design and we can decide the treatment protocol. So I would like to share our ongoing work, and where possibly we seek collaboration, and that's why I intentionally kept this slide. So our group is working on oral cancer stem cells. So as we all know, all these classical therapies currently available to treat cancer, they kill that fully differentiated somatic cells. But within that population, there are few cancer stem cells which is still they survive, and they can survive even the radiation and chemotherapy. So we are working on specifically isolating them, characterizing them, and try to know its behavior and its genetics. And once we know them properly, possibly we can devise or design some specific drugs or the treatment options for that. So my wish is to create Indian-specific polymorphic variations that are there in our population. So if we identify them, we can identify or segregate the individuals into slow, normal, and rapid metabolizers of tobacco. And possibly that will definitely help in deciding our tobacco de-addiction protocols. And genomic landscaping of the atypical cases for mutational hotspot may be very much useful for us. So if we really want to work something on this, I think it is better to identify the high-risk individual very early with some cost-effective screening markers. And by using chemo prevention, either through supplementation of right food supplements rich in antioxidants, right diet, and right lifestyle, that is good physical activity and right sleep, may be useful as a part of the chemotherapeutic chemo prevention. So on behalf of the Gujarat University, I welcome you all to Gujarat University whenever you visit Ahmedabad. And specifically Dr. DCruz, whenever you are in Ahmedabad, please do visit us. It will be our pleasure to host you. And I'm there in Gujarat University Startup and Entrepreneurship Council. So as the director of GUSEC, I welcome you. And here GUSEC, it supports the various startups with unique ideas, innovative products, where ICanCaRe is one of the incubating. So don't be fearful, but be careful in this situation in the pandemic. And thank you all for patient hearing.
Well, thank you so much. I think that was really full of insights and a lot of learning. Our students who are here with us today will really gain a lot of knowledge. With this, now I invite Pawan sir once more time on the forum to talk about the research work which is being done in collaboration with GU and ICanCaRe.
Yeah, thank you, Shruti, once again. And thank you, Dr. DCruz, and of course, Dr. Rakesh, with whom we have worked so closely during this period. And let me tell you, he said, be careful, not fearful. I say, always be careful and fearful of the tobacco users around you. So we have to make it as a tobacco outrage everywhere, and we have to make sure that people who are most commonly the people who are suffering, they are the tobacco non-users who are suffering because of the tobacco users in the world. There can be only two types. So without taking time, these are the two products which we have devised, we have made it available, and this is the ICanCaRe Tris Care. With this is a special with a special material that has been made, and it is easy to open the mouth, and it has got measurement also available. So this is something that we devised at at GUSEC, which was a modification of what was available in the market, but to make it easy and lighter and affordable. That is what we did. And you see these posters who are using tobacco, that she was a lady who was using that tobacco paste. So now we can, and this you can see that there is a marking, and we can judge how much she's opening. The other product that we got was the Curinge Gargle. Curinge Gargle is again a curcumin gargle along with sodium bicarbonate and sodium chloride, and which has helped the people to means to relax the mucosa, to break the fibrosis in the mucosa, to make it more pliable. So we have been looking at only once a month. This is the two things that Dr. DCruz also said. Be smart, do not start is something that we are doing regularly. The second thing is win over tobacco made easy. Those who have started tobacco, and at Be Smart, Do Not Start, we are intervening at the school level from class 6 onwards. And Win Over Tobacco is for those middle-aged people who have already used tobacco for quite some time. And this is a Chota Dana campaign which started. जब भी देखो छोटा दाना, उसकी पहचान जल्द ही कराना, कैंसर को बनने ना दो नासुर, जल्द करो इसे दूर. So this is a campaign that every person who is using tobacco should at least examine the oral cavity at least once a month. So I think these are something, and there are a lot many more products in the line. So I thank Rakesh for giving us the opportunity to be working with them at JUSAC and designing and researching a lot of things. And definitely we look forward for various universities and others who can collaborate with Rakesh to take it forward. Thank you so much, Shruti.
Thank you so much, sir. That was a research work which was done at ICanCaRe. TrisCare is a research product and is very handy and extremely affordable by all people for both oral rehabilitation as well as to treat oral submucosal fibrosis. And now, with this, I'm very happy to invite Dr. Arjun Agarwal, who is the Associate Professor in Surgical Oncology in Rohilkhand Medical College, Bareilly, to talk about how to nip the bud before it kills. So, Dr. Arjun,
yes,
Dr. Arjun. Yeah, so I invite you on the dais to please enlighten us about the subject.
Thank you so much, team ICanCaRe, for inviting me for this wonderful session. As a surgical oncologist, I feel very privileged to share my screen with the stalwarts like Professor Anil DCruz, who is everybody's guru in the field of head and neck oncology. And we have been following him for so long, all his research papers. If it would not have been a virtual program, I would have come down and touched his feet for guiding us so much in head and neck oncology. So I again thank ICanCaRe for inviting us. Now, like Dr. Anil DCruz spoke about the role of increasing taxes for cessation of tobacco, I would like to, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, I just lost the screen.
Yeah, we can hear you, Arjun. We can hear you.
Yeah.
You're quite audible. We can see you also. I can see the screen also.
Actually, I'm not able to see my slides.
Shruti?
Should I stop sharing maybe?
Stop sharing and then reshare again.
So now, can you see? Is it visible?
No, it's not visible now also. Yeah, now I can see, yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So I have been given the topic to discuss the role of screening as a method to prevent oral cancer. Like all of you know, screening means to differentiate people who are healthy, who are not having the disease, and people who are having the disease. So screening is basically of three types. One is mass screening, in which you screen the entire population. There is high-risk screening, in which you target only the high-risk people. And then there is opportunistic screening, in which you target people who come to the healthcare facility for some other reason. So there are ideal screening programs, but these ideal screening programs, they recommend a lot of points. Some 20 points are needed. And it is very unlikely for any of the diseases to fit into these ideal screening programs. We have formulated ideal screening programs for breast cancer, cervical cancer, and colorectal cancer. But do we have a screening program for oral cancer? Or can we make a screening program for oral cancer? Or is it worthwhile to make a screening program for oral cancer is the topic that I will discuss today. So first thing is, I will like to make a case for screening for oral cancer. Like whether it is needed or not, why should we screen oral cancer? The first point is survival. The survival for stage 1 oral cancer is 96% versus the survival of stage 4 oral cancer, which is only 57%. So there is a difference. Second is the treatment. The treatment for pre-malignant disorders is very simple, just an excisional biopsy, versus the treatment of oral cancer, which is multimodality and includes surgery and radiotherapy. Third point is that there is a pre-malignant stage present in oral cancer, which gives us a window period of roughly 5 to 10 years where we can screen patients, we can target them, and we can prevent them from developing oral cancer. And also, there is a very simple screening method in the form of a conventional oral examination, which can be done by anybody. Then my question is then why there is no national screening program anywhere in the world? So I would like to just tell that there are few methods of screening like vital dye staining, light-based detection, biomarkers, and self-examination, but only conventional oral examination has been considered to be a good screening test, which having a sensitivity of 70% and specificity of 90%. But do we have evidence to say that everybody should target conventional oral examination? The only country to have done a randomized trial in this aspect is Cuba. They did a national-wide study, but at the end of the trial, they found that there was no statistically significant increase in the rates of incidence of oral cancer or any decrease in mortality. In India also, please switch to the previous slide. In India also, a study was done in Trivandrum, which also showed the same results, that is, average population will not get benefit of a generalized conventional oral examination screening. Next. So at present, as of 2021, we have insufficient data to persuade any government to start a national screening program. Next slide. One more thing I would like to say is that like Dr. Rawal told about the natural history of disease, how the cancer progresses from pre-malignant to malignant stage. But we also know that only 5% of the pre-malignant disorders will convert into cancer. 95% will not convert into cancer. So we have to know that which 5% of the pre-malignant disorders will ultimately develop cancer. Otherwise, you will unnecessarily treat the 95% of the population. So the holy grail which I consider is that we have to have some test, some examination, some biomarker test, some molecular test, which will tell that which 5% of these pre-malignant disorders will convert into malignancy. Only then a successful program will happen. Then what should we do? Should we stop screening patients? Should we stop doing anything else? So what is the need of this hour is to study the role of opportunistic screening on a large scale. I feel that dentists are the first people to whom patients come when they are having any problem in oral cavity. So I feel that dental colleges all over the country, they have a big role in having this role of opportunistic screening. And I feel that all the dental colleges of the country should start some program for opportunistic screening. So I, from the behalf of Bareilly International University, will like to extend our efforts that we will be readily helpful, and if any event or any ICanCaRe event you can start here or any program that happens, we would extend our efforts. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you so much, sir. Pawan sir, maybe you would like to add something before we move on to the next speaker?
I want to add.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Shruti, and thanks, Dr. Arjun. And we definitely would look forward to joining hands with the Bareilly International University under your leadership to take this program. And also, I would look forward for Dr. Rakesh Rawal. Maybe we can interact with him also to take this program of working together to make this tobacco which is the biggest killer into and tame that, as we have said, to tame this tobacco for the benefit of the youths, to save the youth. Thank you so much. Let us take it forward, Shruti.
Yeah, I'll invite Reena ma'am because there was a word which Reena ma'am wanted to also share.
Thank you, Dr. Arjun, for putting this. I know I'm going to be coming up to speak again, but why I speak out of turn, probably a little out of turn, is because I'm a dental surgeon. And I've also been a dean of a dental school. and also been actively involved with Indian Dental Association and with the Dental Council of India. So here I would like to tell you something. Yes, I agree that from the medical side, in the general health screening, oral health has not been, oral cancer screening has not been put as one of the priority things, though in the NCDs, we are looking at cancer as a large marker. But at the same time, from the dental college, there is a dictum that every college, here we have Bareilly Dental College's IDS is sitting right here, Dr. Sathyajith is here with us, so he would know that every department, as a rule, you have to look into the mouth, and every child is taught how to screen for oral cancer. So every student knows that, how to screen for oral cancer. The public health department is going out and screening the community, and it is a routine which is done. And there is a tobacco cessation center which has been put in every institution, and there is a routine screening program, and the public health goes out to communities and does screening at a large level. It's a community level involvement. And the other thing is from the Dental Council, this is a mandate, and the Indian Dental Association, which is the voice of the profession, we have a registry, oral cancer registry. We are also part of the OCF. So that's how there is a lot happening, yes, but I do agree with you that at the government level, there has to be that in the general health examination, oral examination for oral cancer has to be included in it. I agree with that so much with you, and thank you for bringing that up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Reena.
Thank you so much, Reena ma'am. And now I think I'll just quickly briefly introduce you again.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine, Shruti. For the sense of time, I think we'll just move ahead. That's fine. We'll just move ahead. So I think this has been an amazing session so far, because what I'm hearing from all our speakers, from the last speaker from mine, we'll start from Dr. Arjun, who's been really pushing his case, which is so rightly so, that there is a need to involve and include oral cancer screening in general health screening. And an opportunistic screening is done in the dental colleges, is done by dentists, yes, and should become a part and parcel of life. I agree, because when you have 20 lakh new entrants coming in and using every day, and then we had Dr. DCruz, from his words, there was one thing ringing all the while, which was advocacy, advocacy, and advocacy. And go ahead and save the youth, because we have so many children who are being pulled into this new habit. And this is the tobacco industry is manipulating their, the advertising mode, their product survey, their product delivery to make sure that the youth is coming right in. So rightly, sir, as you said, Dr. DCruz, that we have to be at ICanCaRe, and everybody else has to be really targeting the youth, saving our youth, looking at the children, the preschool, the pre-college children, the early college children, and looking at that. Dr. Satyajith was very right when I heard that, there's a need for tobacco cessation. So this is tobacco cessation clinics coming in. So what I'm hearing from everybody coming in, and Dr. Rakesh talking about, that there is a need for in India to create customized delivery of care for tobacco cessation. So ICanCaRe has really built all of this into it. So today I would be very happy to say that we have already been having a vision, which is looking out at this, and we realize that the role of volunteer group. So the volunteer group is anybody in society who is able to talk to another person and is able to speak out against tobacco, speak out to inform about the harms of tobacco. And we believe in creating this huge group which we have worked with, and we have a large volunteer base, because this is the basic base of the pyramid, which is going to be speaking out to everybody. The marshals, sir, Dr. DCruz, you'll be very glad to know that we have the marshals program here, and our marshals are basically aimed at reaching out to the school teachers, the clubs, the organizations, where we look at people who are going to be influencers in that particular community, in that society of where they are, and they're going to ensure that people are going to be safe, because they're going to be able to talk and going to be putting in the thoughts, weeding in the positive thoughts and weeding out the negative thoughts about people who have not started, the children who have not started should not start, and the ones who have started, we move them in for the de-addiction process, and for telling them how harmful this is for them and their families and everybody else. Of course, we have the ambassador process, because these are the influencers in the community who are going to make sure that they are the ones who are going to be moving these addicts, these patients, towards the doctors to get a protocol-based a de-addiction process and a quit process, which is going to be scientifically validated. And as we saw with the digital modality coming in, and we have a digital transformation completely of our process, the way it happens. And we believe, as Dr. Rakesh rightly said, that we need to have more specialists who are delivering care and who are probably giving us more input, so that at the laboratory level, we are going to be able to do more meaningful research, which is going to be able to bring out biomarkers and bringing out modalities by which we can deliver customized care for each patient. So we are very lucky to be associated with GISEC, and we have the Gujarat University courses. We are the only ones who have a university validated course where we have a CTCS, which is our highest level course, which is the tobacco cessation intervention course, where we are making the intervention specialists. And currently we are running these courses online because of the COVID. The university has been very kind, and Dr. Rakesh has been very kind to help us in this process. And we have the OCTC classes, which is the orientation counselor orientation course, which is basically for counselors and for motivators who are going to be doing that. These are all live courses and live virtual. We run them live virtual. They are completely synchronous courses that we run. And we really want you to come into this. The whole word of Marshall, this Marshall is a very important group which we have created. And this is the one which we are moving into all societies, percolating down and actually being able to motivate every person that it is your health is in your life, in your hands, and healthy life is something which you can demand for yourself. So speak out against tobacco, be aware about tobacco, recognize the tobacco habits in people, and start sensitizing everybody, because speak with conviction and with the correct modality that you can create a surveillance against tobacco. We have to help the tobacco addicts, and this Marshall in the community goes out and assists and helps, like in schools, to make that school, to make the organization, whether it's a club. And we are very fortunate, Madam Girija, that you're here with us and you took the lead for the Rotary and created this virtual tobacco clinic for the first one amongst the Rotary Club. And we are very fortunate to be associated with you. Thank you for that. So this is what we are doing, moving into the clubs, moving into schools, moving into society, moving into organizations, so that there are going to be more and more marshals. Today we have IDS Dental College with us, and Dr. Sathyajith, this is directed to you specifically, where we would like that right from the first year, when the student comes in at your orientation class itself, the orientation lecture should be giving a meaning to the student. My dental student should know that he has a larger role in the society to play rather than drill and fill. He's not come to learn how to drill and fill. He has come to learn that he's going to be the one who's going to eradicate this world from and help every person from NCDs in the larger goal of the Sustainable Development Goal, and of course at a minor level, at the micro level, working towards the patient, talking with conviction, talking to even the hostel boy probably who's chewing something so he should be equipped with a job right from day one. So that's the Marshall level. Moving on to the OCTC for the third year and fourth year. And of course, the PGs, the postgraduate students, the practitioners, the dental surgeons. And Dr. Satyajith, we really invite you to send us 3 people from your college for our course starting out, where we would like to give you a scholarship for your 2 faculty and 1 postgraduate students. And with the ICanCaRe protocol, we'd be very happy that they start manning the your tobacco cessation center. I'll be more than delighted, because this is something, it's an invitation to you. And Dr. DCruz, I cannot thank you enough for all the words that you have said and laid the foundation for today's talk, and that we can and we will and we always will together. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Reena ma'am. That was totally full of inspiration. And this is a gentle reminder again, one another time, that we invite the faculty and the students to join us for the certification program. We're offering 50% scholarship as of now to all those interested members who would like to learn about tobacco cessation and practice in the regular routine, so that they can help the patients to have a better quality of life. I also invite the first year students and other members from the community to join as tobacco marshals, to be the advocates to and be the tobacco control experts in the community. We're going to start the next batch from 4th and 5th of February. This is going to be an online event. So anybody who is willing and would like to be a marshal, please be in touch with me. Risha will drop the number and you can simply text me. Even for the orientation program in tobacco cessation, for the OCTC certification program, kindly please contact me and I'll be very happy to enroll you into the ICanCaRe Academy to be certified as a cessation specialist. This is another intervention program which we have started at ICanCaRe, the group intervention program. And these programs are simply aimed to improve the success rate of cessation. We do this every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. and it is a rolling group process. In here, we discuss a lot of general issues which tobacco users face while quitting, which is about stress management, weight management, and how they can transform their lifestyle into healthy individuals. So if you know anybody in and around you who would like to seek assistance and need proper guidance in terms of quitting and managing their problems, you can simply refer them to the ICanCaRe Tobacco Quit Buddies Club so that we can help them via group intervention to quit successfully. With this, I also invite all our members, all our viewers who are with us on this webinar today and watching us on different platforms to join the ICanCaRe community on Facebook. This is the area where we are connected together, all together, so that we can really make a difference and have our voices heard in the process to increase tobacco cessation, to help people quit and gain more assistance in terms of getting over the habit successfully. Now, I take this privilege to invite another speaker, a very important person, Dr. Shiva Manjunath, who is academic in charge at Institute of Dental Sciences, Bareilly International University. He is presently the head of Department of Periodontics and Implantology and has completed his undergraduation from Manipal College of Dental Sciences, Mangalore. He holds 18 years of teaching experience for both undergraduates and graduates. He has 51 national and international publications to his credit, 20 presentations in various national and international forums. He is examined across 12 universities for both UG and PG students. He has a great inclination for research and has conducted 30 original research. I invite sir now to talk about who is the killer or the sufferer, who is responsible for the rising NCDs and burden in the country, and how we can save the youth. Dr. Shiva? Sir, are you there with us? Rishabh, can you
unmute yourself, sir?
Yes, I think it was muted earlier.
Yes, sir. Now we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Shruti, and for the wonderful introduction. Respected dignitaries in the panel, Rotarians, esteemed learned speakers from various fields, my dear colleagues and students. First of all, thank you very much, Dr. Pawan Gupta, for giving the opportunity to share the dais with all these wonderful people here. The topic for today is, for me, is the killer or the sufferers. When I was discussing yesterday, what is exactly is this? Is it about the person who's consuming tobacco and leading to getting into the cancer, and the sufferers are the family who's being dependent on that particular person? Who is responsible for this? And let's pledge to save the truth. Before telling any point, most of the speakers have explained about the statistics and their point. I just want to share my personal experience of two of my friends. Two of my batchmates who did the masters in Bangalore. Their parents had father had a lung cancer, and they lost everything. They lost his father. They lost all the wealth along with this in the treatment. Literally, they had to sell their house to give a treatment. At the end, they lost the father and also the kind of money also. So it's not about only the tobacco consumer, it is the family also which is affected big time. So that's what I just wanted to tell here. Like, it's not about that. There is so many big issue in this. As a dentist, we see patients oral cavity on a regular basis. As Dr. Arjun suggested, that in our department, in perio department, every patient gets into the clinic, wants to get his teeth cleaned, and we examine the oral cavity and we look for all these stains, and then immediately our eyes will go for any of the lesion in the oral cavity. Trust me, couple of few years back, let's say when we are doing post graduation, the incidence of cancer or the oral cancers were relatively very less compared to today. I used to see a couple of cases in a year and we used to hear, but trust me, nowadays in the recent days, almost every now and then we keep hearing about the incidence of cancer cases. So the data says quite shocking and painful data it has been. And most of the data which explains about the addiction of tobacco, that is, anybody who is less than 18 years who's addicted is almost getting into that. So we have to stop at that particular time or before that. There are beautiful explanation by Center for Disease Control Center in the year 2017 has recommended that how to communicate to the children, basically the youngsters. We need to discuss at home. We need to discuss at home how to stop this problem, how the other people are getting affected. Children can get inspired at home as such. So this was a study done by CDC, and they were telling that we need to educate at home. And there's another article by American Cancer Association. They said that around $5 billion is an expense as a burden on a government where, the treatment of cancer is going to affect it. Just imagine what will be the consequences in India where the burden on the economy by only for the treatment of cancer is going to happen in the future. So as a dentist, we have, utmost importance in care. We can do something right now, and this is the best platform where we can start working on it. And I can promise from Institute of Dental Science, Bareilly, the faculties and the students can, start looking in these directions and to pledge to save the youth. So with that, I will conclude my talk here. And I sincerely thank Dr. Pawan Gupta for giving this opportunity to share my few views to you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Manjunath. It has been absolutely an inspiring and very thought-provoking presentation or talk from your side. And we definitely look forward that more and more people will be taking into account the different aspects that you have put forth. So with this, we move ahead with the program, and now I would like to invite Dr. Shivalingesh KK. He is the head of the Department of Public Health Dentistry at the Institute of Dental Sciences, Bareilly International University. Dr. Shivalingesh has completed his undergraduation and post-graduation from Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Bengaluru. He has many national and international publications to his credit in the field of dental public health. He has also authored many books in the field of public health. He was also a guest speaker in various colleges on different topics, ranging from research methodology, epidemiology, and tobacco cessation counseling. He has also attended many national and international conferences. Currently, he is heading the Tobacco Cessation Center at Institute of Dental Sciences, Bareilly. So I welcome Dr. Shivalingesh to kindly enlighten us about the challenges that he's been facing, and as a community member we face during providing tobacco cessation or delivering tobacco cessation program. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Rishabh. Yeah, I mean, first of all, my warm greetings to all the stalwarts here. They have already said a lot of things. I mean, there is ample amount of literature that has already been put out, and everybody has said it. I'll be very brief. Okay. So whatever the challenges, before speaking about the challenges, I need to go about how do we go about this tobacco cessation program initially. I mean, how is it important to as healthcare professionals for us as well as medical professionals? So tobacco is the single most preventable cause of death in this millennium, basically. So as already Dr. Satyajit Naik pointed out, there are about 7 million people who are losing their lives. And there are about 6 million people of them who are all smokers and ex-smokers. And about 1 million people of them are non-smokers who are usually exposed to the second-hand smoke. So the tobacco smoking or chewing of tobacco is not safe for everyone, as already put out by the GATT survey in 2018 and 2019, basically. So the epidemic, to stop the epidemic, we need to have appropriate measures. So what we see in India is about 85 to 90% of our Indian population visit a medical or a dental practitioner every year. So that accounts to about 2/3 of our population. So a medical or a dental doctor, therefore, is in a pivotal position to become a role model. That is, he could himself be a non-smoker initially, and then he could educate the public regarding the ill effects of tobacco, take the initiative and build opinions and collaborate with various agencies such as seen on these platforms basically, and participate in preventive activities related to tobacco. Okay, next slide, please. It has also been observed that providing tobacco cessation is not such a difficult thing. If you spend as much brief as 3 minutes, it has almost resulted in about 10% of the whole patients attempting to quit the habit. So when counseling ranges from 5 to 15 minutes, this quit percentage has increased significantly to 40%. That means time is of the essence here. Once you try to spend your time with the patient, then he or she will definitely is willing to quit the habit. So when I talk about counseling, there are 5 A's and 5 R's, which all the stalwarts are already must be aware of. And since this is a platform for the students, I would like to have a brief introduction of what are the 5 A's and 5 R's basically. So the 5 A's are: first, you need to ask the patient whether he has or he's smoking the habit, or he's in the habit of smoking or chewing tobacco for that matter. Believe me, no patient would immediately agree that he or she is smoking. My brothers from Pedontology and Department of Oral Medicine will readily agree that the patients who visit their departments usually say, clean our teeth. That's all that we need. Don't send us here and there. We are not in the habit of roaming around in the college. When they ask them to come to the counseling center, they say that we don't want to come. So moreover, when they see about 10 to 15 interns surrounding them, no teenager would definitely confirm that he or she is a smoker. So it becomes challenging. So once you ask the patient in a non-offending way whether he or she smokes, and once the patient agrees that he has the habit, then you move on to the next stage, that is advise the patient. Now, how can you advise? The advice has to be positive, has to be personalized and tailor-made to the patient's circumstances basically. So how can you advise? Basically, you have to find out what the patient is interested in, whether he emphasizes his health as important stage of his life, or whether he gives importance to the economy or his money, or whether he pays attention to his family. Pick on the nuisance of what he places his emphasis on. And then once you find out what is important to him, build up your counseling based on that. Okay. And then you move on to the next step, that is assess. Once you have asked and advised, the next step is to assess. And now what are you going to assess? Whether the patient is ready to give up the habit. That is the first point. So once you are convinced of that, move on to the next stage. That is the second step. What is that? Whether the patient is willing to quit the habit. Once you have confirmed with these 2 points and the patient is ready, you go on to the next stage. That is, you're assisting the patient to set a quit date and move along with the patient, advising him on a continuum basis, basically. Maybe a week. It might, the usual time is usually to practice abstinence is about 5 years. You have to have a follow-up of minimum of 5 years for a smoker to really live his habit. Believe me, a person can remain for 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, but more than that, it's really a challenging for him too. Because whatever reason he has picked up the smoking, if he's faced with the same situation again in life, then he's definitely going to pick up the habit again. So relapses are most common. Don't worry about that. The problem is you have to instill that confidence in him to leave the habit basically. Okay. So what if the patient is not ready at the 3rd stage? That is when you're assessing him and he says that he's not ready to quit the habit. That's when the 5 R's kick in. What are these 5 R's basically? The first is the relevance. Now you have to find out, you will ask the patient, okay, he's not ready to quit. What is making the patient smoke basically? What is the reason behind his smoking habit? That's what you're going to ask him. Once he says that this is the reason or that is the reason, then based on that, you can ask him or advise him to leave the habit. So next, you discuss about the risk of smoking. What is it again ask him what is it from smoking that you do not like. So he may say, okay, by smoking, I sometimes feel breathless. Sometimes there is a congestion in my chest. Sometimes I think my family is suffering due to the second-hand smoke, or maybe it's a costly affair. I can't buy the number of cigarettes, so many in a particular day. So based on that, you're going to take it to the next step again. Okay, now what is the reward? Now ask him, what if you stop the habit today? I mean, are you gaining something? So you are basically taking the answer out of the horse mouth, basically. I mean, you are asking the patient to advise himself. The patient will definitely say, if I stop smoking today, by the end of 1 week, I will earn so much. Maybe by the end of the month, I will save so much. By the end of a year, maybe I'll buy a laptop or a car even with the habit I'm practicing right now. Okay. Then you anticipate the roadblocks next. What are the roadblocks basically? I mean, why is it impossible for you to leave the habit or attempt to leave the habit? He might have his own reasons. So he might tell that I have a lot of stress at home. Maybe my social group is such that I have to pick up a cigarette, otherwise no one will talk to me. I have such a group basically. Or maybe due to some other bowel habits, he might say. I mean, there are ample amount of reasons to start the habit, you know. So once you anticipate the roadblocks, then finally move and reassess the patient again. Now ask him again after all he has told you, whether now you are ready. We are all there to help you. Please remember, guys, it's very easy to start the habit. It's in your own hands. But to leave the habit, you need to have a lot on offer. It's not up to you only. It's up to your entire surroundings and you and a great amount of willpower and courage to stop the habit, basically. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah. So what we have, I mean, what are the challenges I am facing in our tobacco cessation clinic is, first and foremost, to make the patient believe that he has a problem is the big headache, basically. I mean, when he or she walks into the clinic and says, I mean, we ask him whether he or she smokes, the first answer I'm going to get is no. So we have to convince him, this is not such a jinx that is attached, you know. I mean, it's very normal. I could be a smoker. The second or third person could be a smoker. So give the confidence in a patient in order to reveal himself to you. Encourage him to speak out. He will definitely speak out. And once that is done, half of your problem is solved. Then again, let me be very clear. Relapses are very common in our own clinic. Since its inception in December 2018, we have had a success percentage of only 8% till now. That means out of the 282 patients we have counseled so far, we have been able to find only 32 patients until now who have not gone back and again smoked or gone to the chewing tobacco, basically. So this is the success rate. So we need to be patient and we need to move on with great perseverance. And as Dr. Rakesh Rawal and Dr. Pawan Gupta pointed out, you had to be fearful, you had to be careful, agreed. But again, you have to be aware of your surroundings too. Once you're careful, fearful, okay, I mean, everything is done. But once this habit is starting in your surroundings or environment anywhere, please be aware and stop the habit and show the red flag then and there. Okay. Thank you, ICanCaRe, and thank you, Dr. Pawan Gupta, for inviting me. It was a pleasure sharing the whole thing with you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shivlingesh. So your practical insights and inputs definitely will help the young medical students and the community fraternity as well in taking up and dealing with the tobacco addicts in a more efficient and in a directed and a very personalized way. So with this, I also want to just put forth and welcome Dr. Pawan Gupta to share his few thoughts regarding the implementation of tobacco cessation in the community.
Well, thank you, Rishabh. And definitely tobacco cessation is a challenge. If you can unshare the slides, Rishabh. Definitely tobacco cessation is a challenge, but at the same time, this challenge can be overcome with what Dr. Shivlingesh has very nicely said, in the proper way. If we have more skilled up people and a lot of perseverance is required, and if we have the right way, we can definitely do it. So at ICanCaRe, we are training the doctors, we are training the healthcare workers, and to how to approach these patients in the right direction and right way. So thank you so much. And before Dr. Anil DCruz has to leave actually for his another webinar, so if I can request him to say a few motivating words for the work that everything that we have been doing today. Sir, Dr. Anil DCruz, if you can.
Yeah. Thanks, Pawan. And I just like to first thank everybody for a great, inspiring meeting. Every speaker has been very inspirational. I've enjoyed the presentations, the science, most importantly, the passion of everybody. It's been wonderful. And I just feel, as I said in the beginning, if this crusade can be taken out to other members of our fraternity, surely we will make great strides, great achievements achieved, great targets in the months and years to come. Pawan, it's really inspiring to watch you in a leadership position doing this above the call of duty. And once again, thank you for having me over. Thank you to everybody, Rotary Group, the Gujarat University, the Bareilly University, everything. I think everything has been good. I just don't want to single out any one presentation. I'll be very honest in saying that I enjoyed each and every one of the presentations. They were very good and very inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And I definitely look forward for your support. And maybe we can get some support from how we can join with UICC to propagate this program or to propagate this Save the Youth campaign. Maybe we can.
Also, Pawan, I can just say one of the collaborations that we have is the McCabe Law Center, which is in Australia. They are a legal department. It's a joint initiative of UICC and the Cancer Council there. Any of you all who want to help fight tobacco cases, put documents up to government, the McCabe Center is absolutely available to you all, and maybe I'll hook you all onto the people there. So that's the first initiative. I can help you all with material on World Cancer Day, World Tobacco Day. If some of the youngsters like Rishabh and Amit and the others who made some great presentation want to apply for some of the fellowships, technology transfer, that's another way that we can look at. So there are many ways. We'll discuss that offline. I'm not going to keep the others waiting. They'll be waiting for the other presentations, but we'll take it offline. Thank you once again for having me over, and God bless you all for your great initiatives.
Thank you so much, sir.
I am taking 1 minute.
Yeah, Girija ma'am, please. Yeah.
Dr. Anil DCruz ji, it was such a great pleasure having you, and we follow your advice. We will fight with the government, the related government for, of course, we can't fight for banning, but at least we can raise our voices for raising the taxes, and also we will take it in the Rotary mission to go to the school kids and the junior colleges as a mission, along with ICanCaRe, and we will definitely follow your voice, sir. Thanks a lot. And we follow the advocacy as a main campaign slogan. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, Rishabh, please continue.
So with this, we have been talking about right now that the tobacco is as a problem is a huge problem that is faced all over the world, but in India it requires a much more sophisticated way, a much more collaborative way from each and every organization, each and every individual to make an effective tobacco control. With this, I would like to invite Rotarian Dr. Vasuprada Kartic. She's the district chair addiction prevention for the Rotary Club at District 3150, to enlighten us about how Rotary as a social society, social group can collaborate, can provide us with the collaborative agenda to take this tobacco control tobacco control strategy to the public. To introduce Dr. Vasuprada, she is the anthroposophic psychotherapist, core faculty national level training, board member of international board at headquarters in Switzerland. She is actively involved in tobacco control and cessation, initiating the tobacco control across India with ICanCaRe collaboration, establishing virtual tobacco cessation program, initiated tobacco program for Rotary clubs across India with RAG. RAG is Rotary Addiction Action Group. I think I'll hand it over to Dr. Vasuprada to enlighten us about how Rotary intervention to control tobacco needs collaboration. Thank you so much, Dr. Vasuprada. Over to you.
Thank you so much. And yes, a great thank you to all the dignitaries who have been here and enlightening us, giving us extraordinary amount of knowledge. And of course, my congratulations to ICanCaRe and Dr. Pavanji, who has been an inspiration for us to take it forward. And team of ICanCaRe, I have met with all of you individually, and we have I know that the amount of passion and the commitment that you have shown from the beginning. And last but not the least, my Rotary colleague, Rotarian Girija Sampath, who has identified this in the first place. And I think the simple reason that I'm here is because she identified she wanted to do this. And the power of Rotary is such that a single Rotarian identifies something and then it starts becoming bigger. So it starts with one club. Then as you see today, we have many co-host clubs. And I thank all the presidents who have taken the decision to join this. And of course, we had the district level event last time. And when that was attended by one of the other national committee members, Dr. Deepak Purohit, he was so impressed that we took it upon as an agenda at the national committee level to take it forward with ICanCaRe as a Rotary program, that we will do it at a national level, that we will have an MOU with ICanCaRe so that all the clubs across the country, or at least all the districts that have partnered with the Rotarian Action Group for Addiction Prevention, it is RAGAP, and for which I'm also the member of the National Committee. And just yesterday we concluded the meeting, and our world chair, who's the past Rotary International President, Rotarian Kalyan Banerjee, he's the chair, global chair of this initiative of Rotary. I was so impressed meeting Dr. Pawan Gupta ji that immediately it is like a go ahead, and we have the RAGAP initiative of India is very happy and glad to take this program forward in whatever way that we can offer support. So through Rotary, one thing that we can do is as a definite area of focus, that as Rotarian Girija has already said, disease prevention, disease control and prevention is a big agenda for us. So automatically this falls into that, and addiction prevention, because that is where we have come into that. So we have 4 mandates under addiction prevention, that is nicotine, alcohol, drugs, and internet. So directly as this initiative now comes with the nicotine mandate and the extraordinary amount of work that has already been done by ICanCaRe, we're just happy to collaborate so that each and every club now understands how to take it forward. That we will give them a clear idea that out of the SAVE that you have talked about, the first 3 are very possible. So sensitizing, assisting, and volunteering can be taken up by every single Rotarian. We can do this as our individual and as a community responsibility. And as Rotarians, we have been always working with anything that has thwarted the development of the community. So disease prevention, or whether it is a disaster. So at this point in time, we can possibly put tobacco usage as a disaster with the numbers that Dr. Pavanji had shown us in the beginning. If you have 5,500 children starting to use, or anyone starting to use tobacco every single day, it is a disaster. So we need to really take it upon ourselves. This is my request to my Rotary colleagues, that we need to take this message to each and every Rotarian to take it passionately. And the program about the certification for the marshals and the specialists, we do have in Rotary many doctors who themselves can possibly become the specialists and add to the number of the existing specialists. And as marshals, I'm sure there are many committed Rotarians who can take it forward. So with this, this is the vision that we can definitely have. And one of the national committee members, past district governor Ullas ji, had mentioned, had given a phrase. He said that ICanCaRe and Rotary can together become WeCanCaRe. So possibly that is something that we are looking at in terms of, yes, together we can make it happen. It is said that, to raise a child, it takes a village. Now, this is like the brainchild, the project that we have to raise it together, that we have to foster it together, and to make it into something which is a 100% successful program. And for that, I'm sure all my friends from Rotary would be very happy to do their level best. And as a district chair of 3150, I'm very happy, and I congratulate the host club, RC Hyderabad Midtown, and all the co-host clubs for having taken this step. And we are waiting now to spread it across. We do have also somebody from Gurgaon, if I'm not mistaken. So thank you for joining us. So we will now continue on this journey together. Thank you very much. And the best possible way, because now I think Dr. Pavanji has been invited to be the part of the scientific committee of the RAGAP. So this is one more thing which I wanted to share with you. So we'll be doing a lot of work together because Rotary is equally passionate to protect every human being from disease and the following disaster that comes with it. So thank you very much. And I'm very privileged and honored to have been here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vasuprada, for putting forth the roadmap of our collaboration and providing us with a path so that we can move ahead on that path to make it this project a great success with the support and collaboration from the different clubs, different members of the community. Thank you so much, Dr. Vasuprada. With this, now we move ahead, and I would like to invite Dr. Keshav Kumar Agarwal. He is the Chancellor at Bareilly International University. I would like to put forth that many of the students are from currently are viewing this particular webinar, and this whole program has been developed, has been made successful or have taken into shape because of the Bareilly International University coming together with ICanCaRe to have this session. So Dr. Keshav Kumar is a renowned surgeon and award winner for professional excellence in an MBBS, MS, RSH, FISS, and managing director of a multi-core hospital known as Keshav Hospital, which was promoted by him and his wife, Dr. Lata Agarwal, MBBS, MS. So Dr. Keshav Agarwal currently is the Chancellor at Bareilly International University, and we would like to invite him to address the August gathering here. Sir, over to you, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. We can.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir. Please, Rishabh, you can unshare the screen. Focus on him.
I think we may have lost him or connection with him.
He is very much there, Rishabh.
No, he's disconnected, I think, right now. Yeah, he's there. He's there. Keshav, sir, are you there? Dr. Keshav? He's there, but actually he's traveling from Jaipur. So probably there is some.
He's there.
Yeah,
He's back.
yes, sir,
He's
we
back.
can see you.
Back.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Actually, I am traveling in a car. I'm on the highway between Jaipur and New Delhi. I had to go for some urgent work, so I could not join earlier. But now I've just left the Jaipur. So I'm joining here. First of all, I would like to congratulate everyone here who is present here. I have heard the talks of some of the last speakers, and they were really very nice. As far as tobacco is concerned, my personal experiences, that we have to stop uses of tobacco. We should ask them to. They will have effect, but not as much as if the government stops. Experience, even the children, some treatment is also very, very difficult. And whatever you do, there is always a disfigurement in the face or the tongue, or there is change in the voice. So there's many bad effects of tobacco chewing. As far as smoking is concerned, smoking cigarette definitely gives a trouble to all these people who are in the cities, who are living in the cities. But I have a personal experience of seeing all the villagers who are smoking the bidi. I don't think they develop much of the health complications as the urban people are doing, are getting these complications. Maybe they are using some different leaves for covering the tobacco, which is acting as a filter. I don't know what is the reason. That people have to do some research work on it. But I definitely favor banning the tobacco all over the country, not over in some states, but all over the country. Of course, this will give a revenue loss to the government. But again, if you consider the good effects of the tobacco chewing, the banning only can stop it. Like many of the states, they have banned the alcohol, and you could see the good effects of banning the alcohol. Similarly, we should ask our health minister, Dr. Harshvardhan, to ban the tobacco also. He's in favor of banning the tobacco. If today we take home the message that everybody will write to the health ministry to kindly ban the tobacco, I think this might have some effect. And there might be a change in their mindset, and they may proceed forward for banning the tobacco. If we are successful in persuading the people, persuading the home ministry, health ministry, as well as our health minister, who is really, he's a ENT surgeon. He definitely have a better knowledge of all these cancers. So I think we should, and all of us should write to the health minister to kindly ban the tobacco in all of the country. Even if we ban, even if we are successful after banning, even if 50% of the people they stop using the tobacco, that means we have successful. Gradually, it will have a cumulative effect, and everybody will start stopping it. Like you have seen in the smoking the planes and railways and planes in railway stations and airports everywhere. The government has banned smoking. So after they banned, there really people have started leaving the habit of tobacco, using this smoking. So if we also think in terms of banning the tobacco, I think this will have a very good effect, because really mortality and morbidity is very high with oral tobacco chewing. And in our population in northern India, I have seen people are keeping the tobacco for a long time in their oral cavity, and they are chewing it and just keeping it in the so so, so when they are keeping it for a long time in their cheeks, that really irritates the mucosa, and of course then only the cancer develops. So my advice to all of you is, so kindly write to the health minister for banning the tobacco. That is one message. And as far as other things are concerned, actually, I was hearing you. So you have given a good information on the cancer, and Rotary Club is also involved very much in helping for the counseling, for leaving the habits of smoking, leaving the habits of tobacco chewing. So I think if all of us work together, definitely there will be a change. And with these words, I really congratulate all of the team of Institute of Dental Sciences, as well as Bareilly International University, and the other participants who have participated from other parts of the country. I really congratulate them and wish them all the best for their future endeavor to work on this cancer prevention. And ICanCaRe Foundation also really organized this good seminar on for taking the care of all these tobacco affected patients as well as all the smoking patients. So with these words, I wish you all the success and have a great day. Thank you very much. Hello.
Thank you so much, Dr. Keshav, for putting forth the words of wisdom, and definitely will put this information, this concern, this advice across multiple platforms to create a group, develop a huge group so that we can persuade the government in completely banning tobacco. Definitely will all join hands together and put forth this message across the government to take necessary action step and the way forward. Thank you so much, sir, for giving your valuable time and precious time and putting forth your thoughts across the whole community currently who are viewing us on different platforms. With this, now I would like to invite Mr. Naresh Ragi, who is the secretary at RCH Midtown, to please give us the vote of thanks for this Sunday evening.
Rishabh, Naresh could not join, so I take over.
Okay, ma'am.
Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. It means may all the beings in this world be happy and peaceful. I take this opportunity to thank each and everyone. See, there is a 4-way test what we believe in Rotary. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? So, Rotary believes in a lot of concepts. Rotary is giving to the community. Service of youth, especially children at risk, is a major emphasis, working with and for tomorrow's leaders. Rotary sponsors Service Club for Youth and Young Adults and offers lot of career development and also mentoring program. Our main aim is to reach the community. Our main goal is to reach the community and service the community. We have a program called RILA. Rotarians provide opportunities for leadership development, promotions of arts, culture, sports, community service. RILA programs provides an opportunity to pass on the Rotary ideals of service of the youth. RILA focuses on ethical leadership, development of communication skills, problem solving, conflict management, responsibility of community service, and global citizenship. So RILA was conceived in the year 1959. Under this program, like many of your stalwarts have given a lot of suggestions. For example, Dr. Arjun have told to take screening of all the patients for oral cancer. So this can be brought under the program, and we can do the campaign under this program, under disease prevention program, and we can definitely take it forward in the future. Like Dr. Shiva told, if you spend 3 minutes, 10% can be cured, 5 to 15 minutes, 40%, which is a really very good suggestion. Like, don't be fearful, but be careful. This slogan. So each one has given their inputs. Of course, Dr. Pavan takes every week a different direction to teach people. I need not say anything about Dr. Pavan. His entire team, ICanCaRe team, they breathe, they eat, they work only on promotions and advocacy. Every week and every day, they have some programs. So I really congratulate the team, and we are proud, like Vasudha said, Vasuprada have told that we both join hands. And one, for example, I only laid a brick, but Vasudha has put a road to the RAG. So congratulations to Dr. Pavan in the committee, and you welcome you to the committee. And likewise, Bareilly University and their entire faculty, today I can see each one is giving their own, see like 10 fingers. They are all together with us. Like that, there will be so many fingers going to be joined together for this program. And I have taken it on a very, very personal level. I thank my co-host clubs, RC Secunderabad Pearl Ganda, the president, RC Centennial Sanjay Kedia, RC Hyderabad Mega City Rotarian Andirvedi, RC Smart Hyderabad Anita Reddy, RC Hyderabad East Rotarian Giri, RC Gurgaon Passion Kishan Goenka, who is already seen here, like Vasu was telling somebody from Delhi, and Rajesh Sayal, the president, RC Cantonment Sri Ramakrishna Vemuri, RC Secunderabad Mallikarjuna Dishit, RC Hyderabad Central Sudhakar Reddy. And also I thank the entire team, Dr. Anil DCruz, Rakesh Rawat, Dr. Vasu, Dr. Keshav, Dr. Shiva Manjunath, Dr. Reena, Dr. Pavan, Dr. Satyajit Naik, Dr. Arjun, and Dr. Shivalingesh, Rishabh, Shruti, and Manoj Kumarji. I have seen him in the group also. Thank you, Manoj Kumarji. My special thanks to you. And I thank each and every one of this program to make it very successful. Cigarette is the only consumer product which, when used as directed, kills its consumer. If it is hateful to the nose, harmful to the brain, and dangerous to the lungs. So let us take it as a mission and see that you smoke, I die. Why should I? So you don't smoke, I don't die. Let us take this mission and teach the people and reach the people, and let us do our best. And I thank one and all for joining this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Girija ma'am. And now we open the whole forum for question and answers to interact with the experts here. And with this, I would also like to invite fellow co-host Rotarians from various clubs to share their thoughts on this platform with us. Thank you so much.
Good evening. This is Ramakrishna. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. First, let me thank Girija Sampath ma'am and Dr. Vasuprada and all the team, from ICanCaRe for the wonderful program and inputs. Only one point I wanted to add is we are having, a yoga program which will be able to cure or prevent cancer. So that program, we are coming up on 4th of this February. And I wish all these champions, all these learned people join that and then benefit various people, various, affected people. So with this request, I feel, that yoga would do a great, help in eradicating this particular, tobacco-related diseases. Thank you.
Kishan Goenka, are you there?
We have Rotarian Pearl Gantaji here. So please, ma'am, please share your thoughts.
Yeah.
Pearl, could you switch on your video, please?
And I particularly like I particularly the
Pearl, your voice is dropping.
Maybe there may be some due to unstable internet connectivity. I would like to also invite Rotarian Sanjay Kedia ji to kindly share his thoughts.
I think he's not in the seat.
We have Manoj Sharma ji here. We have Manoj Sharma ji. He is an excellent program coordinator and passionate social activist. So please, we'd like to hear from you a few words.
मनोज जी
You may
अपना
have to unmute
अनम्यूट
करना
करके
पड़ेगा
बोलिए.
आपको.
Manoj ji, you will have to unmute. Manoj Sharma, you will have to unmute, I think. So can we ask Mr. Muruganandam? Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Yes, sir. This is Muruganandam, NSS Coordinator, Erode Arts and Science College, Erode, Tamil Nadu. Namaste. I would like to say thanks to the entire team of ICanCaRe being given me an opportunity to hold an MOU with them to save the youth for tobacco-free India. Being an NSS coordinator, it will be better talking to the elder minds, younger minds to be better than that of that. So we have to cultivate with the younger minds by the school itself, school students as well as college students. There comes the youth for the future India. So this campaign, Save the Youth campaign, Tobacco Free India, will be more successful when all the ideas to be taken to them. Then only we can able to succeed in our motto. So definitely this will occur through ICanCaRe with the help of Rishabh sir, Pawan sir, and Reena ma'am, Shruti ma'am, and the entire team. So we will definitely get together with you to support for the motto and vision that tobacco free. So at this juncture, some of the students are very much interested to undergo master programs. They are from social work department. They are from, so we are going to train them, whether not train them, motivate them to undergo such programs as well as the higher level programs also. If they have trained and are certified from the Gujarat University, then they can also be used for inculcating these kind of activities in the local areas where we cannot reach.
Yes.
The student, most of the students are from rural area in our college. Almost 80% of the students from rural area. There we can find the usage of tobacco, whatever be the thing in the manner of either cigarette or somewhere something else. So BDs or cigarettes like that they are using. But these kind of usages can be corrupted or eradicated by the usage of the volunteers from the NSS. I think so. So at this juncture, I thank everyone of the ICanCaRe team and my institution secretary and correspondent sir, principal sir, for allowing and permitting us to be with an MOU with ICanCaRe. Thank you so much, Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Murugananji. It has been an absolute pleasure to hear from you, and definitely we'll take this the initiative in and around Erode and different communities around your area to and address the issue of highly prevalent tobacco usage in the village level. Thank you so much for joining hands, and we are very much privileged to join hands with the Erode Arts and Science College at Erode. Thank you so much.
Paul, are you there? Kishanji has joined back. Kishanji, thank you so much for joining, Rishabh. I wanted to introduce Mr. Kishan Goenka, Rotarian Kishan Goenka. He is from Gurgaon. In fact, I have requested Dr. Pawan also to meet him in person. Kishan Goenka is doing wonderful international program for peace and, lot of on a health programs. So Kishanji will be one of the best, person as an ambassador for this program to take forward along with me in the other regions also. Kishanji, Vasuprada, Dr. Vasuprada is also with us. She is a member and committee in the RAG also. Our special person for District 3150, she is in the national committee and she does a lot of programs. So Vasu, are you there? I think she has moved.
Yeah,
So,
Girija, I'm here. My video, I don't know, something suddenly it's not allowing me to switch on.
No problem.
Yeah, Namaste, Kishanji. Yes, happy to make your.
Same here. I have attended, I think, earlier 2 meetings also you had with some other Rotary districts and clubs.
Yes, that's exactly what. Yes.
When you have attended with Bharat Pandya and Shekhar Mendaji.
Yes. Girja ji was also there. And I already have downloaded your app as well. I think that time you had introduced the app, if I'm not wrong, when Bharat Pandya ji was there.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And I have also shared that. And so you are doing a wonderful job. It's a great initiative. And I have one question. Why this name of Bareilly is there?
So,
sir, I didn't get your question.
Yeah.
We are co-hosting also the Bareilly International University is also co-hosting today. And we have all the doctors from Bareilly University who have been part of the program today. So we are our Chancellor, sir. We have been Dr. Keshav. He's the Chancellor of Bareilly International University, and he has been also here.
Okay, because actually I spent a lot of my holidays of childhood in Bareilly for 7-8 years, and it's very dear to me. The word Bareilly, though I have not gone for the last 45 years. But it's very dear to me because we had many friends living, and all the time my childhood days I spent there. Maybe 7 years continuously. My holidays were there, 2 months in Bareilly. That's why it's very dear. And I was very keen when I saw when Girja ji sent me this flyer. But it's a wonderful thing. I've been listening, and I don't know, I was disconnected and not able to check in again. It was fantastic efforts you all are doing. I must appreciate that. I don't know about India, but I've been living abroad. I would like to share because I was instrumental in making one person leave smoking at the age of 52. And she was my secretary in Switzerland. And she used to smoke, and I asked, why you smoke? He said, she was very lean and thin. She said, if I don't smoke, I'll gain weight. And I don't know. And there in that Europe, you may be knowing better than me. I know only from my experience that the girls are smoking much more than boys. And they have a taboo, I would call it. Of course, experts are here. But I think I just said it's a taboo. That by smoking, you can be lean and thin. Maybe I could be corrected. But I don't know what is here in India. And I find here also a lot of girls are smoking now. So this is a good thing. And ultimately, I must tell you, this 52 years old, my secretary in Switzerland. And I took 5 or 6 years to convince her. At the age of 56, she stopped. And we have to give her a leave for 1 month because she started coughing like anything. Then the doctor said, and her husband said, you will kill my wife at this age, I won't get a new one. But, she was so determined. And, after so many pastoring, so at the age of 58, finally, she quit smoking. And doctor said because all this cough was, I think, buried or whatever. I'm not a doctor. Due to smoking, and that has coming out because of this. I'm just sharing a practical. And later on, she became, husband, and their children, who were grandchildren, they became so big fan of me because she was chain smoker. One cigarette with other cigarette. She was like that. Anyway, sorry to bother you all, but I thought let me share this, and I would be very happy to associate with you and do whatever good little thing I could do for this muhim jo aapne shuru ki hai. Fantastic. I must congratulate all of you and my gratitude to all of you. Thank you so much.
Kishanji, not little, you can do a lot, because I know that you have been doing wonderful international programs, and we should plan for an international program now with the co-host clubs, international co-host club. So I need your support.
I am Girjaji, I am at your service, and you plan it and I'm there to execute for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kishanji. I'm Dr. Pawan here, and I'm here in Faridabad. Rishabh is also here in Faridabad. Maybe I will, we plan to meet sometime offline, and definitely we can work out how to take it further.
Surely.
Thank you so much, sir.
Kishanji, you are welcome to Bareilly anytime when you come back to India.
Sure.
You are always welcome to Bareilly.
Yes, I'll certainly make it. It's my dream to come one day and see those little lanes of Sahukara. I don't know whether that exists or not.
It's still there, still there.
Thank you so much, sir. And now we have Manoj Sharma has also joined, and Pearl is also here. Pearl, would you like to say something?
Yes, please. I'm sorry I got disconnected while I was talking. But yeah, it is like I was just saying, prevention is better than cure. But to bring in that kind of a paradigm shift in the way we think, being a filmmaker and a media person, my thing that I wanted to emphasize was how are we going to advertise and how are we going to influence the market? Because right now, you know, even on the tobacco thing, we see such gory images of throat cancer and all that. In spite of that, people purchase. So how can we redesign and influence the media to present it in a way that is not gory, but, you know, in a way that is people will want to stop on their own. So there is this whole way of thinking that needs to be influenced. So yeah, that is my.
I will definitely. This is something definitely important. Because we are already running late, I'll just say three things. One is that from social acceptability, we have to make it as a social outrage. Every one of us who are sitting here, most of us are non-tobacco users. Let me tell you, the tobacco users never come to a most unusual if we find a tobacco users on our platform, right? So we have to create that environment, and we have to create that outrage in the society. And wherever you see a tobacco user, we look at him in disgust or look at him in such thing that it will create an impression of me. He is socially unacceptable. Whatever he's doing, he's socially unacceptable. We accept him as a person, we accept him, but we don't accept his behavior. We don't accept his habit in the public, right? The people who are smoking, and as we go on, they are unlikely to be employed. They're unlikely to be married. And if we create that social outrage against them, definitely it is going to change. And the most important is that we need to be together. Right now, we have very few of us who are actually speaking out. We are accepting people around us. We are accepting people around us. We will not accept people who are smoking around us. That should be our first way. If we can take that, these young children will automatically start thinking that nahi, mere ko job nahi milega, I will not get married, I have all these problems, I will get diseased. Then they are going to stop. So definitely it's a challenge, but yes, we are here to take the challenge. If it was not a challenge, it would we wouldn't have been here. We wouldn't have been doing so much, right? So thanks, Pearl, for being part of it. And I really welcome you to be part of this program with the Girja ma'am who introduced us to you. I really thank Girja ma'am for introducing Ramkrishna ji, Pearl, Vasudha ji, and then I think Goenka ji is just dropped off. So Sanjay, thank you so much, ma'am. And
Sanjay Kedia.
Sanjay ji, has he joined? Sanjay ji, are you there? While Sanjay ji is switching off his mic, can I ask Manoj ji, Manoj Sharma ji? Manoj ji, अपना mic को Unmute karke, please. We can hear you. Sanjay Kedia ji, are you there?
He told he will join. He joined, I think. I don't know. Rishabh,
I think it has been a great time. Yeah. Anyone raising their hand to speak?
So I think we
Gaurav
had a
Sapra is also
wonderful
there.
time.
Arjun, you want to say something? Few words, last few words, Arjun.
Yes, definitely. It was a very wonderful program. So, like, I am an oncologist, and we hardly spend our time in doing this primary and secondary prevention part. So, whatever we do right from morning 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. is the tertiary prevention part. But activities like these, which help in primary and secondary prevention, I feel are more important in oncology. And gradually, we know that cancer is going to be the #1 cause of death in 2050 and beyond. So most of the researches, most of our focus should now be concentrating on this primary and secondary prevention. So I really congratulate ICanCaRe team for this wonderful effort, and so much time they are taking out from their daily lives and dedicating it to the society. I really congratulate you. Thank you for.
Yeah, Dr.
Thanks.
Pavan, to add on, I wanted to announce something like there is an invitation from the governor of Himachal Pradesh, Sir Sri Bandaru Dattatreya, to do a campaign in Himachal Pradesh against drug addiction. Like, because more than cigarettes, I discussed with him for this campaign. So he was telling more than tobacco, the Himachal Pradesh, the youth are taking a lot of they are into a lot of drug addiction. So they asked us to combine drug addiction as well as the tobacco cessation program to be conducted there in March physically. So he has invited us. So I will be working with the government on the dates and the program.
Sure, ma'am. We will be part of it. We can do that. Not a problem, because tobacco is the gateway for drugs. And there is a lot of similarity, accepting that there are certain medications which are different. Otherwise, it's a quite similar way of working. And with the, I think Dr. Vasu, who is our, she's a psychologist, so she will be of great help for that. So I think we will bring this program to an end. Manojji, we are still waiting for you to, we can see you with your tika on your head, but we are not able to hear you. Manoj Sharma ji. Thank you, Arjun. Thank you, Dr. Shiva Manjunath, Dr. Shiva Lingesh, Dr. Satyajit Naik. It has been a wonderful, and thank you all for being such a wonderful part of the program. Dr. Girja, who means I was really, because of her, this became a really bigger program, and we got so many Rotarians to be part of it, and we are taking the dream that I had seen that we can reach out, have been made true by Girja ma'am, and Vasu ma'am has taken it forward. And thank you so much, and thanks everyone for being part of it. And Rakesh Rawal, I think he just dropped off. Rakesh Rawal, are you there?
So it has been a very wonderful evening, and thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you to all the viewers on Zoom and Facebook Live and YouTube Live to have connected. I hope you have taken a lot back from this webinar, and hope to see you again next week, same time at 4 o'clock on ICanCaRe Sunday Live. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and a very warm and have a nice Sunday evening and a week ahead. Thank you so much. Thank you, Girija ma'am. Thank you, Vasudha ma'am, for being a part of the ICanCaRe Sunday Live. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And my video for some reason is not switching on, so I'm not being impolite by switching off my video. Please do forgive me. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Your presence itself is good enough. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone.
I don't know. I've been trying. It's not coming on. So I just wanted to tell you that. Thank you so much.